Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of BrobusCast. I am your host, BrobusCast. With me today is Z-Dog.
Hey guys, I just want to address the next time allegations. I am in fact not psychic, even though my massive brain may seem like I am. I cannot read the future. Please forgive me. Also, something, finishing this fight.
Okay. We also have Richard.
Rip and tear? He ruined it.
Until it is done.
I can't say it straight after his intro. Hi. I didn't know who bleeped was joining us.
Yes, we actually got Moist Critical Blue.
I was thinking that's what I was thinking it was. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
Critical on the cast, everyone. Let's go.
I was like, who invited Moist Critical? That I didn't approve of that.
I'm glad you guys. I'm glad at least you got it.
I honestly thought you were doing an impression of you know who. That's kind of what I thought.
So, I don't, but maybe it's good that I don't. I don't know.
Anywho's,
yeah.
So we got stuff to talk about.
Yes, we do. Yeah. Some good stuff, I'd argue.
Yeah, chaotic stuff and hell stuff.
Yeah.
And I honestly can't quite tell which is which in this case. So
they blend together after a while.
Exactly.
So we're just gonna jump straight into it. We got Shigaraki versus Mahito out.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. So, hey, remember when we were talking about this during the Kickstarter episode, and I said people would be pleasantly surprised by this episode? Yeah, that aged pretty damn well, didn't it?
I was gonna say, were they pleasantly surprised?
I think so, yeah. based on everything I've seen, I'd say so. And personally, I'm happy with it. So This is jumping far too ahead for a joke, but I get it's literally that SpongeBob meme. Mahito versus Shigaraki. A few people come to the stand. Animated by Morrow Productions. Everybody shows the fuck up. Exactly.
Yeah.
Freaking exactly.
Well, okay. Well, before we get to that, we were right.
Rewind. We were.
Nobody.
Yeah, Shigaraki won.
Roll. Yeah, we made up. We made up for Ghost Rider versus Spawn.
I was about to say, like you said, you said we're on a roll. Are we really though? Like,
we're back on a roll. We're back on a roll.
We got one episode, and apparently we're on a roll. All right, cool.
Well, that's not true. We got two. We got 2 episodes. 2 episodes, right?
This year, not in a row.
Not in a row. Anyway,
well, let's hope we can start it.
Well, there you go. But yeah.
Anyway,
let's go. My hero got another win.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's go. Holy crap! It's been a while since we've had a My Hero win. I think the last one was. Yep. Was it really Zuko versus Todoroki?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Apparently the One for All users can't win, but but everyone else can.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Exactly.
good for whoever Bakugo fights, I guess. Well, technically,
Shut up! Say that word.
Actually, technically, he did wield it for a while, so I mean,
Well, yeah,
Oh,
but
so there you
that
go.
was
He loses
temporary,
then.
though. Yeah,
Well,
there.
shit.
Depends on who he fights.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, but yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I don't know if we really need to discuss this much, honestly. I
No,
feel
no,
like
no. But,
Not really.
Yeah.
both me and Kodo laid it out pretty well in our last episode, and then the episode just laid it out pretty well. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you want us to say. Yeah, I mean, pretty.
I know what I want us to say. These analyses were pretty damn good.
Oh yeah, they were.
Oh yeah, yeah, they were great.
They freaking-
The highlight for me being Shigaraki's. Like,
oh yeah.
I've fallen out of love with My Hero, as previously stated, but just re-examining and getting to learn about Shigaraki again, and then what is currently happening to what currently happened to him in the manga. Which, by the way, those who were spoiled on this episode, you probably shouldn't have watched it because this is Death Battle. They're not exactly going to hold back on spoilers.
I was gonna say I don't know what you expected. Okay.
Yes, but it was very well done. It's kind of it's kind of bittersweet, I guess is the word to describe what ultimately happens to Shigaraki.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of very reminiscent. It's not identical, but it's very reminiscent of the reverse flashes analyses where you find out all he just wanted something good in his life, and he got it in the end. But history will remember him as a great villain and not a sad, pathetic person who went through horrible trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
Don't you love it when you can feel sad for the villains?
Exactly. Isn't it great?
Sure.
I mean, to be fair, with considering what he's gone through, I mean, freaking, how could you? Well, I mean, I know, I'm sure, bro. I won't poke fun at you, but like, freaking, how could you not feel bad for Shigaraki considering, like, even like if you only know from this episode, just that like the family disintegrating scene is just horrifying in general.
Yeah.
Except his dad, he actually meant to do that.
Oh yeah, no, he did, which valid.
Yeah, it sounds like he deserved it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was a piece of shit.
Exactly. So you get it. But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I'm very happy with how Shigaraki's went down. Like freaking, yeah. I'm just happy his story got like told pretty well. Yeah. I'm
It's
happy
very
with how it went down.
eerie.
Yeah, it is very.
Yeah.
Like,
Considering the person.
we don't talk about the music tracks that they use for the analyses, but the
Oh yeah.
I was literally gonna say the exact same thing.
Definitely helped.
the track they used for Shigaraki's analyses, it was very eerie, very atmospheric, and in the end, it kind of does a 180 when it becomes a little bit sad. So it's almost like the music is characterizing Shigaraki.
Yeah,
Yeah.
indeed. And then freaking.
I also kind of bad that we don't bring the music up as much because I know that's something that DJ and Max both like spend a lot of time
Oh yeah.
trying to get right, especially since they can't use music from the source material anymore.
Right.
Nope.
So I imagine that's like hours and hours of searching for just the right one.
Yeah, just to find the right track that fits the tone of the script for a character rundown.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think I agree. It fits really well here. So, and then freaking the editing, like.
Oh yeah,
Goodness.
the editing.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
What else do we say? The editing was good. It
Like-
was great. We're running
like,
out of things to say
what?
in the dictionary.
I know, but still, it's just like, what the hell? Like this, like, I've seen people say like, and I think I agree. I've seen people say these are like the best well, okay, besides Berserk Man, but like
Yeah.
this is probably like the best work of this new era in terms of
I would
editing.
I would say
Yeah.
this is I would say
Which,
this is
yeah.
probably the best anime episode editing they've ever
Yeah.
had. Probably
Yeah.
since Gojo versus Makima.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I'd say so. No, I definitely like. Even though I'm not like crazy attached to these characters, just from a pure editing front, I can definitely agree. This is probably the best analysis we've had in the new era, barring Bowser versus Eggman.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then you have Mahito, who's just a twisted fuck.
Yeah, mine says just
Yeah.
screwed up.
I mean, when you're literally born from like the humanity's fear of itself, that
I mean, yeah. What do you
it doesn't exactly create a healthy person.
No, it does not. But what it does create is, I mean, Koto and Z-Dog did such a good job explaining it the last time, but then just finally hearing Death Battle's own take on it, Mahito really is just a dark Looney Tune character.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, honestly.
Which, yeah, I mean, granted, this is my second JJK exposure in Death Battle. Man, it's funny because, okay, I don't like that this is a pattern for me so far, but I'm far more interested to whenever a JJK character has to fight a non JJK character, I'm more fascinated and interested to learn more about that opposite character. And then when I get to a Jujutsu Kaisen character, I just think it's all right. It's pretty good. It's not particularly trying to wow me. And in this episode, it's like, okay, look, both of these two are kind of on the same ballpark, but they're completely different. And I do love how the writing kind of just gives into it, especially since, yeah, it's a character born out of humanity's fear, so there's not a lot to digest there. And unfortunately, knowing what happens to Mahito, I'm like, man, like, I don't know, like, I don't even feel bad for you. I'm just like,
I don't think anybody feels bad for him.
No, of course not. But it's like, man, it's just, I feel bad in the sense that I didn't get to see more of him. Like, I didn't, or I guess hear more of his story. And again, the way Koto explained how he went out, it's like, it unfortunately made me classify him as just a jobber who couldn't even be allowed to take on the main white-haired character. That was just how I looked at it, but
I mean,
the analysis.
That's not like entire Death Battle's fault.
No, I'm not saying it's that's what I'm saying. That man.
Yeah.
I was more glued to my seat, so to speak, with Shigaraki's analyses than I was Mahito's.
Yeah.
Mahito's is still good. Like, editing is still good. The music track is good. The story is well told, but I was like, yeah, I don't care for you. I don't care. I mean, you're a sick individual, so there's not really a lot for me to grab onto there.
Yeah.
Poor Mahito fans, they have it so rough.
Yeah.
He's like the Vegeta of Jujutsu Kaisen. Dude's never gonna get his day.
Oh no.
Well, he's absolutely never getting his day now because, well, for one, it's over. And two, he big dead.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
I mean, do you guys have anything else to say? Transition over to how he died.
I mean, you know, as a fan of these two series, I'm just very satisfied with the coverage here. Like, especially like the parallels with like, especially since that was one of the big things of this match, like paralleling, you know, Shigaraki and Deku and Yuji and Itadori. Damn it, it's Mahito and Itadori. Yeah, I'm very happy it was there, and just, yeah.
Yeah.
I will say I will say I think the one thing I will give Mahito's is I think I found a few of the like comedic bits to be funnier there, if that's like
through his
especially
rundown.
yeah, through his rundown, yeah. Like I know like the whole thing with Itadori like going on and just the I don't know I just the like the blah 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 thing. I don't know. I found that
blah
funny.
blah thing.
Well, you know, like, oh, Yuji's a goody two shoes and, you know, good person, yada yada yada. That I don't know. I mean, like I said, I think that's just kind of like just how these two are written in like obviously Shigaraki's a lot more serious of a character, whereas you know Mahito is just, you know, more playful, and I think that these analyses like played into that very well. So I have no complaints really.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All
All
right.
right.
So
Then I guess we're talking about the fight.
yeah. So
Yeah,
this is totally gonna be a pride fight, right?
Well, yeah.
This is totally.
Totally. So, again, to reference another SpongeBob meme, want to see me make a great death battle animation? Want to see me do it again?
Yeah, Moro, what the fuck? Moro, it's fucking 3 episodes later. What are you on? I mean, I'm glad. I hope you're doing good, but like, what the fuck?
I mean, to be fair, I know it's easy to glaze Moro, and I'm not here to say don't do that, but it is important to remember that Bowser vs. Eggman was finished pretty early.
Yeah.
I guess that is true. Oh yeah,
He just came in and finished it up.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, because from what I understand, the base animation for that was basically already done before the shutdown.
Yeah.
And then after they came back, they're like, all right, I just need to get the backgrounds done, basically, and then, all right, we're good.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay.
Pretty much. So he had a little bit. This one he was able to do 100%. You know, like with no situational setbacks.
Yeah.
This was all him. Which also, correction, his sister helped out in certain areas. So congrats to her.
Particularly the intro. Yeah, they drew all. She drew all the civilians that die.
That reminds me. So if you came into this expecting us to talk about civilian Akane, then feel free to click off now because
you've come to the wrong place. Not doing it. Exactly. Moving on.
She's dead. We're moving on.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Holy crap. And it's funny because Moro did state that he don't do hands good, so
nope.
That was an area that was interesting to me.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's like when he was given this, it's like, how are you gonna hand draw all the hands? And Moro's like, oh, it's quite simple actually. I won't.
Yeah.
Yep. Literally every hand you see is a 3D model, I believe.
Yeah.
Or done in 3D.
It's a 3D model that has a 2D shade on it, which is a method he uses in his Indie Cross game. Which, by the way, go check out his Indie Cross series. It's fantastic. Please.
I second this. Yeah. But I know he also used it in Bowser Eggman because I'm pretty sure
he did. Yeah.
So, yeah, it kind of makes me, you know, knowing that Moro doesn't hand draw hands, it kind of makes me wonder. It kind of makes me go back and think how much of Moro's like hand-drawn stuff in previous death battles had 3D models this whole time and no one noticed.
You'd be surprised. Like,
It's like I know people like when we were talking about Bowser versus Eggman, I know we talked about how like Fury Bowser and the Egg Dragoon were those were 3D, but then people like once Moro posted like I have never hand drawn a hand ever. People went back to Bowser versus Eggman, and a lot of the hands there, they might be 3D, and no one noticed.
yeah, no, it's funny. How often do you look at the hands of, you know, a hand-drawn fight?
Yeah.
I mean, you just assume the whole character is drawn by hand, but no, only know that 90%, 95% of the characters' moral draws are hand-drawn, and then the rest are animated by 3D, and then adding a 2D shade to it. That's very good. And I kind of don't want to ruin the magic by going back and just paying extra attention to Bowser vs. Eggman to see, okay, yep, that's 3D on the hand, that's another 3D on the hand, that's 3D on the hand, because it does. It feels like it just kills the illusion.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the fact it blends in so seamlessly, like that we didn't even notice it somehow.
Yeah.
I think that is incredibly
And that's
impressive.
before you add the lighting and the backgrounds. Like, if you just go back and you watch the original finished version of Bowser vs. Eggman before the background was added, you wouldn't even be thinking that, oh, by the way, the hands, 3D models.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, props to this guy. I don't know what to say about this fucking animation. It's,
I
again,
don't either.
I've rewatched it 6 times, and I don't know. Like, it's a unique anomaly. That's to say, because it's not it's not your traditional anime fight. Like, it feels like it very much is up. It feels like it is similar to Gojo versus Makima. Like, it's not laid out traditionally where you're just having people blast ki or use superpowers. Like, no, these are just people, and this one is a spirit fighting a guy with superpowers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So choreography wise, it's a bit different.
Yeah. I think they made the most of like what they can do. I mean, I do appreciate the no moves like at the start being there for like. Well, first of all, the fight that like whole intro is freaking sick, and like freaking, like especially the camera work. My goodness.
Oh yeah,
like,
no, the
yeah,
camera
that is
work
like
was
so
on point.
freaking smooth there, and then having something that like Mahito can actually use aside from the idle transfiguration on besides himself. That's always welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm very happy with that, and again, looks freaking sick. And then, yeah, no, I'm very happy with like, I mean, obviously I don't think they could use everything, but like with what they both use in this fight, I'm very happy with like all the abilities they were able to show off. And actually, I also do want to mention, I was kind of mistaken on that because something I did notice about this fight that I didn't even realize in my first watch. There are certain points in the fight where like you can see Mahito actually destroying a vestige of Shigaraki's.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you do. Okay, you did. Okay, cool. Like the freaking flash and like destroy like I think freaking danger sense like that's only used like at the very beginning of the fight and it's never used again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
That's clever.
yeah.
I like that.
Mhm.
I do that. And then
Yeah, basically any like meaningful hit that Mahito lands gets rid of a vestige. And it kind of like it's kind of interesting that they bring up in the analysis that like anytime a vestige is destroyed, that's a quirk for Shigaraki gone.
Yeah.
And it's like the more the fight progresses, the less and less quirks Shigaraki ends up actually using.
Yep.
It's like you mentioned the danger sense earlier. That electric whatever bullshit.
Yeah, like why?
Yeah, the Kamehameha type thing.
Yeah. Like that's gone basically the second they get on the train. And in the end,
only lost like what, 2 points? Go on.
well, basically in the end,
Sure.
basically all that he's got that he uses is decay.
Yeah.
So I just think that's kind of fascinating. It almost feels like all of Mahito's like best hits, they basically like whittled Shigaraki's quirks down to his main one. And all for one as well, obviously. But
Yeah.
yeah, like by the end, all Shigaraki's using is decay. So I just think that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is. I found that very interesting. I think my favorite, or like my 2 standout moments with this. Okay, I have 3. My 3 standout moments with this are the comedic Looney Tunes esque madness that Mahito is using by coming back from being reformed and then extending his lips to try and kiss Shigaraki. And the second one just being their fight on the train. I feel like that closed fight on the train was probably my favorite moment of this episode because you get to see Mahito use everything he's got, including the domain expansion, against Shigaraki's basic attacks, and then the ending,
Oh god.
the ending. Okay, so a lot of people, including myself, said that this was ultimately going to be Homelander versus Omni-Man, but anime characters. To an extent, that wasn't wrong because that ending is very. It's not graphic, but it's dark. It's bitter. With the idea that okay, Mahito went inside Shigaraki and saw his fears, but then Shigaraki did the same thing, and he's like, "Oh, I figured out what you are. You were just created to be this way. You don't even have thoughts on why you are the way you are." Me, on the other hand, I'm different. So if anybody really needs to grow up at the end of the day, it's you. And then just crushes his head, and what everyone has said, that has to be a accidental callback to Omni-Man versus Homelander. But it's a head crush in its defense. I mean, I'm pretty sure that if you were to frame a head crush like that, it would come out looking the same.
Maybe.
That's just me though. And what's also interesting, again, this is gonna, we'll come back to this with the voice acting. But what's interesting, if you watch the boards, that great scene of All for One showing up. He doesn't speak. He doesn't have lines. He's just sitting there, and he just raises his hand and helps Shigaraki get rid of the domain expansion, because it's technically not just Decay that's doing it. It's also thanks to One for All being there.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
I'm sorry, All for One. My bad.
No, it'd be really good. Yeah, no, I agree. But yeah, I mean, I'm trying not just. I'm trying to just skip all of it. Yeah, freaking that ending just chills. Like freaking.
Yeah.
Like again, like Richard said, the beginning with the train scene, like that's just looks so clean. Again, the camera work is golden, and again, I 100% agree. Well, first of all, I mean, I also want to point out how like good the domain expansion looks, like how well they replicated that again, like with Gojo's, like.
Yeah.
Nailed it down to a T. And then, again, like freaking what Richard was saying, like the whole spiel about Mahito, like looking into Shigaraki's soul, and then like I was hoping for a scene like this in the episode, like the freaking all for one Sukuna reference. Thank you. Like my goodness, chef's kid. Is, and I will say I am glad. Like obviously the boards were great. Shadow and John Mitchell, obligatory. I am glad that a line was added there for all for one because I don't know, it just feels a little more natural than him just like not saying anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. And freaking like and then again him decaying the domain and then decaying everything around him, like freaking chills, and then that last line is just so good, so good, so well delivered, and then. Again, they got creative with Mahito's, like, his, like, shifting. The freaking head.
Yeah.
Like, you see the head running.
Yeah.
It's great. Now, like, freaking ending is, like, really good. Like, it's probably my second favorite. Well, I don't know if I can say that. Anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know. Tough competition, but it's really good is what I'm trying to say. I'm very good with it.
Absolutely. If there's one, okay, so just real quick before Bro gives his thoughts, because I want us to all give our thoughts on this. If there's one critique I will have on this minor, it doesn't bring it down too much, but it did feel like the hits were a bit choppy. Like the choreography was trying to keep up as best it could, and you can kind of tell. So I don't know, and just I can't say this. Moro's a guy who is great at multiple people in battle, but I guess when it's single battle, there are just times where depending on the time frame, he had to do this. It's clear that the camera has to cut away from some obvious shots that don't have the impact they want, and there are minor lip syncing issues, but that's about it. Like that's
I
really
thought I noticed something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's honestly most noticeable in the intro. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
But yeah, those are really my only two criticisms with this animation. Other than that, it's perfect.
Honestly, the only time I really felt the hits not being as impactful is really on the obviously the fight's cool, but really the only time I felt that was when they were on the tracks before.
Yeah.
The doppelganger. Otherwise, I thought it was I thought it was as impactful as it needed to.
The only thing I will add, I don't really have a lot to say on this fight. The only thing I will add is that I felt like a lot of if we're going into critiques, I felt like some of the close quarters stuff was a bit, I don't know if floaty is the right word, but
It was definitely funky.
Yeah. I mean, it's not to an awful degree, and the fight's basically perfect everywhere else, which is most of the fight. It's really just the only times I really noticed it was one was Mahito versus the Nomus. Yeah, I felt some of the movement there was a little off. Not bad, but not bad by any means. It
was a bit sluggish, I guess.
Okay.
I also felt it on the train tracks. I appreciate the reference, the callback, because Shigaraki does get jumped in the same way that Mahito did in canon. So, I got what they were doing there, and I appreciate that. But I just kind of felt that, I felt the movements were a bit sluggish there.
I agree.
I also kind of felt it. Okay, everything around it works. So don't take this as me saying that the scene itself is bad, because it's not. I also kind of felt it on the train itself.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like when they were inside the car.
Yeah, like when they were fighting in their big strong forms or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I'm also going to go ahead and guess that the quote unquote armored up Shigaraki is a 3D model. It just kind of moved like one.
Yeah. Most likely it is.
I mean, that might just be all the hand.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, none of it was bad by any means, but I kind of felt like, okay, I mean, this is like, it's not enough for me to be like, yeah, it's not a great animation, because it definitely is.
Yeah.
Like a couple instances of some kind of sluggish animation is not enough to detract any points for me. It's just like,
Agreed.
it's just like we've talked about this so many times. Every animator has their strengths and weaknesses, and this episode, I feel kind of shows both for Moro. It kind of shows Moro's strengths and weaknesses as an animator. I don't know. Maybe it's just a thing in this one. I don't know, because I didn't have any issues like this for like Bowser vs. Eggman, and I haven't seen. Y'all talk about Indie Cross. I haven't seen it, so I'm like, I can't comment on that. But
We need to
Hashtag do a reaction.
Anyway.
So if, yeah, maybe it was just a thing in this one, and maybe this is just like a one-off problem. I don't know. It's not even that big of a problem. It's just like, it was just kind of like a, oh, that's a little weird, but okay.
So, okay, I since I've seen both episodes of Indie Cross, so I can tell you there is a moment where when it's a one-on-one fight. Moro is Moro is trying to be, we'll just say he's trying to be as over the top with the choreography as possible, and I think that really is his strength, because when he's doing over the top choreography that you would find with a character that is in an anime that require that they move super fast, they hit super fast, all of that, he's fantastic. He's wonderful. And then there's also what I'll just call it multiple segments, where there are more than one character, and Moro is able to cut around them and make them feel like they are not getting shunned by the camera. Like, the camera work is able to focus on all of them. He's able to keep them all in one center, and there's no mispositioning them. You don't feel like the characters are just in separate areas. Like, you feel like they're all in the same space. Now, I say that because when looking back on Bowser vs. Eggman, that's an army fight, and there's a lot going on, but you don't feel like there's a lot going on. You feel like everything is centered, it's focused, the spacing is consistent, and there isn't a moment where the choreography is sluggish. I mean, I guess maybe you can use Bowser doing something as simple as a drop kick, but that's actually good because he's big. He's a big fucking turtle. So he has to move like a bit sluggish when he's doing something simple as that. But here, it feels like, yeah, maybe close quarters combat is still something Moro hasn't fully perfected his skill set on, because it feels like, okay, when it's multiple characters, Moro knows how to keep them centered, but when it's just two characters trying to do basic hand-to-hand choreography, anime combat, it does feel a bit sluggish. It feels floaty, and it just feels like, okay, maybe this is just a weakness that he has, but I like Bro, I don't feel like it's enough to detract from the animation. It's just probably something that Moro himself struggles with, and I can understand that, because dude's drawing an animation, and he's having to 3D animate it at the same time, so there must be moments of difficulty on trying to do that for something like this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I can concur with what BrobusCast is saying. And again, it's not this isn't like, and we've seen this before. Like we've talked about this before with other animators, and yeah, like Bro said, each one has their strengths and weaknesses. So but it's not a bad weakness. It's understandable. Look at what Moral's having to do in this animation.
Yeah, there's a lot. So. I mean, hey, you know what? Who knows? He might just get better at that over time. Just, you know.
Yeah, maybe.
Getting used to it.
All I can say is I can't wait to see what his next fight is.
Yeah. Well, who knows? I'm actually trying to think if I can think of any weakness of the fight though, because like I really don't. I mean, because yeah, like freaking really the only thing I have problem with the fight is again like the whole like fighting on the rails not feeling as impactful. Otherwise, like I really don't have much to complain about here. I'll be honest. Just like, yeah, I big, but.
Yeah. Okay.
Good stuff. Claps all around.
Yeah. Well, if we're done with that, then
It sounded good.
Yeah, I guess we're just moving on to the audio. Voice actors. Okay, what?
When of course when we don't say his name, that's a cat. So
Yeah.
It. Oh, yep, freaking
Of course.
Shigaraki.
Yeah.
And then Sean Chiplock is Mahito.
Oh, okay, no, back up for a second on that
Okay,
on
yeah.
that one.
Okay.
Who the frig said they could get Sean Chiplock in here?
Yeah, I still have no idea how they did that.
No, don't ask me.
That's freak like that. Like we talk almost every episode now about just the reach that the crew has now. If they didn't have it before. But it's like how okay, last episode we talked about them getting Tyson Yen, and that was whatever, right? Like that.
Yeah.
I mean, Brandon's worked with him before, so that's just like okay, cool. And then like Ray Hurd, okay, yeah, cool. Sean Chiplock is a crazy casting.
Yeah, I would say he's the most surprising cast they've had this in this independent era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
I mean, well, no, second only to Zach Wilkins as Battlestar.
Yeah, and if you don't know who Sean Chiplock is, look it up. 'Cause chances are, you've probably heard his voice somewhere.
And unlike me, who's heard him in Marvel's Avengers as Spider-Man. I'm not proud of that, by the way.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Okay, BTW, he did a fantastic job as Spider-Man.
Much like he does a fantastic job as Mahito.
See, there you go.
Yeah. Circling back to man.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I guess you guys don't really know his voice that well compared to me, but no, I mean that sounds like I'm bragging, but whatever. Yeah, no. I mean, obviously it's not quite freaking. Of course, now I'm blanking on his name. He's not quite like Lucian Dodge levels, but like
There you go.
he gets the job done. Like I do really like his performance as Mahito. Like he gets across that playful, sadistic side of Mahito that I love so much. And yeah, and again, shouting out. I'm gonna do that for both sides, but again, shout out to the freaking the grow up monologue he has during the domain expansion, and the freaking cold as hell domain expansion itself. Like, geez, like that was really hype.
I want to bounce off of what you're saying. Like, okay,
Yeah.
his grow up speech. It is, and I'm curious to see how many again, Death Battle, for the love of God, just release the damn B-roll of voice reel of these actors actually coming into a booth and saying the damn lines.
Thank you. Someone said it.
Yeah.
One day.
But I'm curious to see how many takes did it take him to get that delivery, because that delivery it sounded chilling, it sounded horrifying, and it almost sounded like there's no empathy in it. Like Mahito really is a sadistic, sick creation, and Sean's performance of that speech, it stuck with me. Like, it's the thing I think about when I just go back to the episode or the track. And yeah, and then also, obviously, you gotta have somebody like Sean Chiplock do a sadistic villain laugh, and I will say the villain laugh is good. Like, it's
it's really good.
It's unhinged, it's chaotic, and it almost sounds like Sean is legitimately embracing this role. Like, like, it's a laugh that just says, I find this funny and pathetic at the same time about you. And then also his transition to him shitting his pants when he sees All For One right in Shigaraki's mind.
Indeed, God. Yeah.
Which also before we get to Tom, just want to say, what the
Liam
hell do you mean Liam can just do All For One? What the fuck are you talking about?
Exactly. Like, he only gets one line, but my goodness, is it delivered well?
It's a great line.
It's so good. Yeah, and I mean, I don't know if freaking, I personally do want to hear more of him. For this episode, again, great, but I am curious actually if like Liam has, like, when they get to like an All For One fight, if like they'll just have Liam voice him. I'm actually curious.
I'd say
now.
why not?
Yeah, that's right. Fuck it.
Liam's just that freaking talented.
Exactly. Yeah. I like the line you gave, so that's all I can ask for. Fucking what? Why? Tom Schultz, why?
That's a question we're all asking.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? What can this man not do?
I will say this: no disrespect to Shigaraki's English VA in the dub, but Tom Schultz kind of sounds a little better. I'm just not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I think I like Tom's performance a little better. But again, remember, when I last watched the dub and the sub, I was at the part before Shigaraki became what he is now, so I only have whining Shigaraki in my head.
Yeah. You have the rat. You had him before you get a freaking cough drop.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Tom's performance is very fucking good.
No, it's great. Like, again, like, I mean, I don't know if I would say Mahito, just because I've actually seen his new voice, but like, I mean, again, I don't know if it's close actually, but again, freaking his voice is just, again, perfect for the character. How does he do it? Like,
he's
it is
freaking voice chameleon. That's how he does it.
Exactly, it is it. But gets across. He just gets across what I like in Shigaraki's voice so well. And again, we're gonna keep going back to that. The final monologue before the death is just so good. It's like, it is like up there, like one of like my favorite like honestly might be like one of my favorite line reads from Tom of the series, because like again just chilling.
Yeah.
It's just chilling and horrifying. Yeah, no notes, perfect. It's gold.
Yeah, and I have nothing more to comment about that.
All right.
It's Tom. What do we say? The man's a fucking mad genius.
Exactly.
I can't even
Like-
decide who's the MVP of this episode, other than maybe
Oh.
just getting Sean Chiplock to be in this episode. I mean, that alone is an MVP because, again,
Mm-hmm.
like, I know they have reach with the old Funimation cast, but just knowing that they could get Sean to play this character, that to me is more surprising than that. To me is the most surprising twist. Again, when I saw it was Tom, I wasn't surprised, but when I heard him, I was like, okay, this is actually very good. But then when I saw it Sean, I'm like, oh shit, Sean stands out more, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, when I saw the preview, they were getting to the voice actors like Tom Shock. I was like, okay, of course. And then it just immediately switches to Sean Chiplock, and I'm like, it's like all of a sudden everything else before that doesn't matter.
No.
I just want to know what made them think of Sean Chiplock to voice Mahito? Like, that's my question.
He's good.
I know he's good, but it's like, what? Okay. Again, it just goes in. I mean, yes, you probably. It all goes into directing something. When you think of a director, when you think of a voice actor, you're like, okay, I know, I want this. I want them for this role, and then you're the only one who believes they could do it. Like, everyone else is just looking at the name and its star power, but you believe they can do it. And whoever's decision it was, whether it be Ben, Chad, Liam's, or hell, even Marissa for that matter, whosever decision it was to cast Sean as Mahito, I would say that's a golden choice. And I want to see his damn voice reel on this character, because I can just imagine just how he was trying to get into the mindset of Mahito.
Yeah.
One day they'll do. One day they'll have something like that for.
Well,
for
they
team
better
members.
start now, because my God, they have access to these recording sessions.
Which is, no, we must keep.
Hold on. My skin is getting deep.
That's
Okay,
that's such a you tried.
you did nice forever. But yes, the
Fine.
soundtrack for this episode.
Yeah, soundtrack.
Indeed. Which, yeah, I mean, it's all right.
Yeah, it's certainly a soundtrack, all right.
I like it. Oh, okay, I like it.
I like it too. I think it's just. I guess I'm just a little bit disappointed that it's not fully what I wanted. Like I was hoping a little bit for I was hoping for, again, the dark reflection of Mighty and
Yeah.
Strongest Alive.
Yeah.
It still sounds good, like, even besides that, but I am a little disappointed. But what are you gonna do? It still sounds good. It fits the fight well. The guitars are rocking. I would
actually say the guitar riffs are my favorite, especially the when it lines up perfectly with that awesome shot of Shigaraki just battle damage and his eyes are blackened out, and you get that great guitar riff. I was like, oh my God! And then the fight ends. I'm like, I feel like this epilogue could have gone on just a little bit slightly longer with that, but okay.
Oh well.
I've listened to the track on its own for the first time, Yeah, it's nothing to write. Okay, obviously, it's not Hell's Angels. Obviously,
Yeah.
Yeah.
nothing's ever gonna. It's not Game Over.
This-
Obviously,
Yeah, that combo's rough to top at this
yeah.
point.
I mean, it's. If sad thing is, if I had to be real, if we had to rank the tracks for the independent era, it probably would be somewhere near the bottom. Just because, again, it's not meant to be a track you can bop to. It's meant to be a track that is very atmospheric.
I mean,
Yeah.
unless you can speak fluent Japanese, in which case this track is entirely for you.
Yeah, no,
we
that is another thing I like about it.
we
Yeah,
can't,
yeah.
so
Oh,
you can
yeah, don't.
you can kind of see the problem here, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's a which this is their second time doing. No, is it their first time doing a Japanese all vocal track?
I mean,
No.
No,
no,
it was Akari. Yeah, I was right.
Yeah, I was
Akari
gonna say
the first
Akari.
one.
yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I mean, I will say I do think, I don't know, this might be an unpopular thing. I don't think Brandon's vocals, I mean, they're still pretty good, but I don't think, like, I don't know, hearing them in another language sounds a little odd, and like he
just
does,
a
like he
little
can't
bit.
put his all, like he can't put his all into it. Like they still sound
No.
all right, but I don't know.
No.
I don't know how
Yeah.
to.
I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Maybe it's just because like I don't speak any other language. I'm just kind of like anytime we get something that's in a that's not in English, I'm just kind of like, I mean, okay, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've listened to Japanese soundtracks and songs, especially one, which, by the way, I've listened Japanese rock and roll, R&B, like power tracks. They're just as good as American, but the problem is that okay, I really do think Z-Dog hit it on the head. This is probably one area where Brandon it's not entirely in his best skill set. Like he can do raw power ballads. Like dude has done it many before. But I think I actually still think Akari is better because when Akari was the first one to do it, it had that Japanese energy to it. Like that's the thing. A Japanese song has to have also has its own style of genres. Like there are different genres for Japanese music. So this particular track, it unfortunately I feel like maybe something like maybe it would have been better if it was just a rock and roll kind of dark twisted version of Strongest Alive. Because that has some sadistic under guitar riffs to it. Because again, I like the spooky guitar riffs that Aaron does, but the Japanese vocal track that Brandon's laying down, it kind of blends with Aaron's instrumentation. If that makes any sense, it feels like this track is just. I don't want to say it's I don't want to say this is a track that's wallpaper-esque, but it does feel like you could just put this on and just kind of just have it there to help you concentrate, but you're not going to want to stop what you're doing and just go with the track.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it still sounds good, but I definitely get that vibe, but whatever. Hey, you know, at least they're experimenting. You gotta experiment.
Yeah,
and
for
there's
sure.
nothing wrong with experimenting.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
just like you've got to know that you've got to know. It goes with the fight. That's the best thing I can say about the track.
Yes.
It complements and goes with the fight.
Yes. I definitely agree with that.
Oh. Oh.
It's just I personally.
Sometimes that's all you need to do.
I just personally would I rather have tracks that they fit the fight and they're like I want something I can listen to on my own, and I just don't have that here.
No.
Which for a vocal track, that feels weird.
Yeah, no,
Um,
like maybe I feel like if this was just if this was just a Werewolf Media track with Aaron doing the instruments, I feel like it would have a better chance on its own because Aaron's done instrumental tracks before and they are pretty damn good. Now, granted, the vocals help, but Aaron's instrumentation is good on its own. So I feel like Aaron's guitar riffs are what is ironically holding this track up.
Actually, I just had this random thought. I wonder how this track would have sounded with Chick named D singing instead. Hair section. No, if that would change it. If that would change it at all.
I don't know.
I don't know. That's just a random thought that came to mind. But
yeah.
Oh well. I mean, hey, freaking. I don't think we can complain with how many bangers we've had since coming back.
Well,
so.
shit, no. I mean, we had Reiki, we had we had Hell's Angel,
freaking
and now
Game Over,
you had Game Over. Like we've had good track. It's just. They all can't be bangers. That's just the sad truth of it. But
oh well.
Transitioning over to that, I would say calling this episode a solid banger is definitely the right sentiment to use.
Oh yeah. For sure. And let me tell you, it feels really good to say that and have the community agree about a My Hero episode.
Oh my god.
Man,
It's only been it's only been like 6.5 years or 5.5 years. I mean,
because like freaking
fucking old.
Yes, we are. I hate time. Like freaking, as someone who is a big fan of My Hero, to have like only one of the episodes be solidly like, yeah, that's a good episode, and then Zuko Shodoroki and then Dekuasa, which honestly I don't know. I personally don't hate. I mean, I'd say that like I hate them all. I personally don't mind them as much as the community does, but like that's they are not well regarded. So just to have another episode with a My Hero character be solidly liked and well praised amongst the community feels so damn good.
Well, and jumping off of that, it does feel good that this was a fan. I don't want to use the word vote, but it was definitely a tier request episode since this was on the Kickstarter, and I know a lot of people there. I did see some fans that were like, "Oh hell yeah, we're gonna donate because we want to see this matchup." So this episode did have its fans, and it's doing a good job on. I would say it's doing a good job on YouTube because it's currently got 2.5 million views, so it's got 2 million views more than Ghost Rider versus Spawn and Kratos versus Asura. So the numbers don't lie that this is a home run for the fans of both My Hero and JJK.
Hell yeah, baby. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, and freaking who knows with how who knows with how quick with how many episodes were between this and Bowser Eggman. Who knows if it'll still just be a common thing for Death Battle, just have Moro animating and going off on episodes on a regular basis.
I will say this, Moro has a high likelihood of of either doing more MHA episodes or more army battles. Like, he feels like he's their go-to guy for those type of fights. Like, again, it would be so cool to see him. Like, it would be cool to see him animate Ash versus Yugi, or hell, it would be even better. Like, if maybe one day when the time is right and the stars are aligned and the sun is in position, maybe have him animate Z-Dog wanted fight that involves an MHA character.
God. I wouldn't complain at all. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Yeah, it'd be Yeah, shows I'd be definitely down for him to do both more army fights and more my hero fights in this case. You know, I'm with how good they were. I'm not complaining. Yeah, and also just saying, I know we mentioned Indie Cross little while back. Um, yeah, whatever Springtrap fight they do, I need more on that stat. I'm
Agreed.
just saying.
Well, I was
Holy
gonna say if Shovel
shit.
Knight comes, if Shovel Knight
Or
or
if Shovel
Cuphead
Knight
come
comes
in,
back.
yeah, if Shovel
Yeah.
Knight comes back, bring Moro on. You've got to. Like,
Yes, please.
oh, and also get Devil Artemis because I've warmed up to his
Yeah.
performance as Shovel Knight. So there you go.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. Yeah, watching
All right.
Cross if you haven't, it's really damn good. Anyway.
Bro, you got any closing thoughts?
Not really. I do. Part of me does feel a little bad. Part of me does feel a little bad because, like, I mean, this fight is just like. I mean, I don't know. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
But this was never a fight that I was super into. So and I don't know. Like, it could just be the circumstances around it. I don't know. It's just like I'm just kind of sitting here like, I mean, yeah, it's good. I like it. And then that's really about it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Good episode. I like it. And yeah.
Nice.
Well, good. Ah,
All right then.
all right.
Well, you said hell yeah earlier. Hell. Into hell we
Richard.
go.
Richard, you are killing it, I gotta say.
Oh man.
You know how you know how Century a couple years ago. Now it's time for another rematch of the Century.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
this one's been a long time coming.
Yep, one of the most requested in the show's history. We're finally getting it.
Yeah.
A
it was
lot
voted.
sooner than a lot of us expected, I gotta fucking say.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
what do you mean?
Yeah, no.
Classic
Okay. Much to BrobusCast's horror, the next time will be the fan requested voted rematch between John 117, aka the Master Chief from Halo, versus Doomslayer, formerly known as Doom Guy from Doom.
Yep,
Here we go.
we're finally getting it, and like, okay, like legitimately, it's
13
like,
years.
oh gosh, I hate time so much. Okay, but like, speaking of which, like, how quick was this turnaround? Legitimately, like,
I'll do you one
mean?
better. Okay, so the Death Battle Curse has definitely been working the rounds on this particular episode.
Yeah.
Okay, particularly for Doomslayer.
Yeah.
So Doomslayer's next game, which is coming out this May, Doom: The Dark Ages, which is a prequel to the events of Doom 2016, showing us the legend of the Doomslayer and how he came to be, which I'll get into that. And also, Doomslayer is going to be a playable skater in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4.
Oh yeah.
That's so
forgot.
stupid.
And this is the second time he's been in a Tony Hawk game, by the way. This isn't the
Yep.
first time. This is the second time. And also, I know none of... But to promote Doom: The Dark Ages, one of WWE's wrestlers at this year's WrestleMania came out wearing a Doomslayer wrestling attire, where the Doomslayer's actual helmet and armor came out of the ring, and he showed up right behind it. So even WWE is giving in to the hype that is known as the Doom Slayer.
I didn't know about the WWE thing. What the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
my
Kira and I were
goodness.
freaking out.
Yeah, Kier wouldn't shut up about it.
I bet. My God.
And then I mean on the flip side, literally
Yeah.
literally the day that this was announced. Oh, by the way, this won the rematch poll. Not only did 343, the devs behind Halo, not only did they announce that they're rebranding to, they're called Halo Studios now, but also they announced that they are working on some form of new Halo project using Unreal Engine 5.
Okay.
Literally the day that this was announced to have won the rematch poll.
Death by Curse works in mysterious ways all the time. Oh my God.
It feels like the universe is telling us this is the time that this
Clearly.
needed to happen.
Exactly. But I'm not as someone who's kind of like born to both series, I'm not complaining. Like the original episode wasn't bad per se, but like
No,
I
but
can really understand why like people were pushing for a rematch so much. Like
okay.
What Doom Slayer's changed.
So, okay, that's a great segue. We might as well, because we've never talked about the original Master Chief versus Doom Guy episode, and this will be our first time actually discussing Master Chief and Doom Slayer on this show.
Yep.
Hard to frickin' believe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked the original episode, and I would say that it's up there. It's not the best season 1 episode.
Oh
but
God,
it's-
no.
Yeah, no, not even close. Not even fucking close. Even on its best day. But it is still a great episode, and it got me into. I can't even say it got me into either series because I was already a fan of both Halo and Doom when this episode came out. I had played Halo Reach, ODST, and 3, and I had played the original Doom. I believe I played the first game. I never played 2 or 3, and I loved this episode. I thought it was cool getting to know more about John and about Doom Guy, and I will say the animation isn't half bad all these years later. It's not perfect, obviously, but it's still pretty good. It still kicks ass.
For the circumstances around it, yeah, it's not the worst. They did what they could.
Yes. And I mean, okay, I also don't want to say the episode did a good job characterizing Doom Guy because that's simply not the case. There were some gaps that were left out. They only talked about Doom Guy in 1 and 2. They never touched 3. And for Master Chief, they only explored the character up until Halo 3, because this episode actually came out before Halo 4 came out.
It's true.
Guys.
So, yeah, and I think it's safe to say their analysis and conclusion on why one hasn't exactly stood the test of time.
Well, I mean,
not exactly, but it's also season 1, so what can you expect? But
well, there's that, but also like both have changed so much since that episode.
Indeed, they have.
Yep.
But okay,
Yeah.
I need to ask this real quick.
Shoot.
What the frack do you mean that this is the second time in the entire show we're getting Halo on the show?
Yeah.
Not
Like-
counting Red versus Blue, by the way.
Well, yeah,
Obviously
no.
Like,
'Cause, like,
yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I understand. Okay, not admittedly there aren't a ton of Halo characters that are like have enough to work with for a full episode, but like
Right.
even without that, Halo is legitimately like one of the most iconic video game franchises in history. Like I exaggerate nothing when I say that Halo stands on a similar pedestal to something like Mario and Sonic.
Yeah,
No,
I agree.
he's like in terms of the 21st century, there is no bigger gaming franchise than Halo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's crazy.
So it's like, okay, I can understand, Master Chief being in the original like era of Death Battle. All right, cool. Like even if you limit it to just like, okay, so you have Master Chief, Arbiter's a big one. I'm sure you can work with some of the other Spartans.
I think I've heard something for Noble 6 before.
Yeah,
I forget what it was.
or Noble Team in general. That it's like there is stuff to work with, but I understand, it's not a franchise that's like deep with like, oh yeah, this character would like absolutely is like so fitting for a death battle and has a great opponent and all that shit. But it's like you could have done something like
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Heck, you know what? You could have even done Master Chief again before this.
yeah,
like
Yeah, you could
I
have.
don't know.
Well, okay, so just springboarding off of bro is 100% Master. Okay, the original Xbox is responsible for modern gaming today, along with the PlayStation 3. Like these, along with the PS2. And Chief has been around for over 20 years, and the fact that he has never been brought back. Now, granted, his opponents are kind of hit or miss. The biggest one that everybody wanted for the longest time before this rematch was Master Chief versus Samus. And granted, yes, I want that. There is some thematical sense there, and it would be a great tribute to Monty Ohm's Haloid series, but problem is that Master Chief, and in my opinion, Master Chief and Samus works better as a fan battle, which is hence why Monty created that, because it was just the coolest thing ever. But I could never see Master Chief.
Watch Haloid, by the way.
Yeah, please God, watch Haloid. It's fucking amazing. This man was taken from us too soon. Anyway, I just never got around that. But just the fact that Halo has just been so isolated from Death Battle for 13 years, it's baffling to me, especially when, okay, and your only mate has been championing Arbiter versus Predator for the longest time, and when we finally did get the Predator on this show, it was against the guy that had already died twice, so it just felt like, okay, it's very unfortunate, and I think that Arbiter versus Predator does have legs. I think you can stretch a Halo character that isn't Master Chief in this show, but I think the reason they probably don't do it is because, well, who's the main face of Halo? Oh,
Well,
that's
yeah.
right, it's Master Chief, so makes sense. But, Arbiter is somebody that at least should be on. I feel like the Arbiter has a strong chance to be on. And if it's about view count and all that, if you put him up against the Predator is carrying that fight.
I mean, yeah.
Because the Predator is more known and recognizable than somebody like the Arbiter, who's only appeared in a small handful of Halo games and stories.
Right.
Yes, but I take that and I counter. The Arbiter is voiced by Keith David. Why do we not have that yet? Like that should be that should be selling point enough.
It's true.
And then we already have a good Keith David impersonator on Death Battle.
We do. we do.
Yeah.
I like how I'm.
Okay.
I gotta say, I like how I'm championing for this. When you know what? You know, I'm gonna actually shut my mouth. That's for later.
Okay. Fair enough. But
Anyways, yeah.
Look.
Can you? Well, by the way, as a side note, can you tell I'm kind of a Halo fan?
No way.
yeah, no. Well, so are we.
Clearly.
Yeah, no. My brother and I were massive Halo fans. Like, my brother dressed up as Master Chief. I had Master Chief's helmet. I would play the games. Like, okay, just no cap right now. Halo 4 is my favorite Halo game of all time.
I can understand that. I don't.
Yeah, like that was. Go ahead.
Personally, I definitely agree from as like for a multiplayer perspective. I played the shit out of Halo 4 multiplayer with friends and with family. So in that regard, yes, I 100% agree. Halo 4 is probably the best one.
Well, it's not even multiplayer. I think I can tell where you're going with this. Halo 4 is like my favorite game of all time, not just in the gameplay and multiplayer aspect, but also the story aspect. And granted, I know it's not perfect. Like if I were to read the original book that this story is based upon, I'm sure that the book would be much better. But I loved Halo 4. I loved the complete package of it. And it was a great story, and I replayed it over and over again. And I would get online from time to time, but it was the story that drew me.
Yeah.
But I didn't play Halo 5. I played a little bit of Halo 5, but I was disappointed by it, and I was ultimately just not interested anymore.
Halo 5 is okay.
I will say I think the fan base did blow it out of proportion by saying this is like the worst Halo game. This is essentially the Batman and Robin of Halo. I think they did go a bit too far with that at the time.
A fan base blowing something out of proportion. Who would have seen that?
That's true. Yeah, no, I mean, Halo is just like I didn't even realize it until very recently, but the Halo fan base is especially bad at like blowing stuff out of proportion. Like, and they're also outrageously religious towards like they like. I know so many fandoms love to be like super like they love the originals and like
they hold them to a high standard.
Yeah, and they're not really being super fair towards anything else. It's like it's for any Transformers fans watching this, it's basically people who swear who live and die by G1.
Yeah. The original first three Halo games are essentially the original trilogy of Star Wars to the Halo community. Like these are the gold standards. These are essentially sycophant mentalities that the original three are perfect. They have no flaws. They're complete packages, and they are what every Halo game. Scratch that. They are what 343 Studios should have done. Like 343 Studios needs to copy what Bungie did with those first three games. That is their mentality.
Yeah.
Anything that isn't the Bungie trilogy, it's honestly just
and
it's
Reach.
A sick imitation.
Reach. The trilogy and Reach. Which, by the way, I will not argue Reach. Reach is phenomenal. It
is. It proves Master Chief doesn't have to be the center of the fucking franchise. You can expand on other characters. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this, even though it doesn't have Master Chief in it. If there's any game like that, if you have to play just one, one Halo game, I would say go with Reach. Again, Master Chief is not in it. I understand that. But it's basically like Reach is basically like it's the perfect blend of like it takes what works in the original trilogy and what would end up working for like 4, 5, and Infinite.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. It's basically perfect. I have no notes. So yeah,
Yeah.
I won't argue with anybody that says Reach is probably like when it comes to like just the campaigns. I had to rank them a while back because someone posted it's like rank all the Halo games or whatever. Like what's like of these Halo games, which one's the best ones? And I was like, okay, you know what? That's got me thinking. I kind of want to rank every single game that I've played. Which just to be clear, that is 1 through 5, Infinite, and Reach. I unfortunately have not played ODST. I know people are like, yeah, that game's pretty good. One day I'll get to it, but today is not that day. And I know there's Spartan Assault, Spartan Strike, whatever. I haven't played those either, but from what I understand, they're kind of shit. So
Well, okay. Well, no, not just to go back on ODST for 1 second. ODST was kind of seen as the black sheep, and everyone said Reach fixed it. So, see, ODST is not often looked back upon by the fans completely. So,
well,
but
anyways, well, okay. What I was originally going to say, I got super sidetracked. What I was going to say, going back to like, so I didn't realize until very recently that the Halo fan base is like they live and die and swear by the Bungie games, and then the 343 games is just like, yeah, nope, goodbye, take them away. It's like, but these games are kind of good though. Nope, don't care. Go, nope, throw them away.
Okay.
It's like, okay. Halo. I need to get on Halo 5 for a second.
go ahead.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say I think Halo 5 is a good game. I know so many people are gonna like crucify me for this, but I just need to get it out there. Okay, actually, this is actually probably gonna be a theme for this waiting period as a whole, but we'll get to that later. I posted my ranking of the Halo games that I've played, which I guess just to run through them real quick. From least to best, I go 5. I'm trying to remember. 5, 1, 3, Infinite, 4, 2, and Reach. I should note 1 and 2. When I rank 1 and 2, I'm talking about the anniversary versions on the Master Chief Collection, just because those are the ones I played. Also, Halo 2 Anniversary is better, and I won't hear anybody tell me otherwise. Anyway, so I posted that, and then someone mistook that as like I don't really know how they took it. But they're like, hey, by the way, just like take 5 off that list and play the rest. I'm like, but I played 5 already. I played 5 already. That's why I ranked it. And I'm just like, this guy. I'm so like, I'm the kind of guy that is so like, I don't like it when people tell me to not watch or play something. And even if like I look at reviews and everyone says, oh yeah, this thing is trash, I'm like, okay, I'm still probably gonna check it out though. And then lo and behold, when I do end up doing it, 99% of the time, 90% of the time, I'm feeling basically the exact opposite. It's like so many people told me, so many people will say, oh yeah, Halo 5, that's a shit game, and then I played it, and like it's honestly fine. It's Halo 5 is a fine game. It's not a great game, but it's a fine game. There are some things that it does questionably, and I did personally experience some frame rate drops near the end of the game, which was really weird. But other than that, I always find myself kind of, maybe I'm just easy to please, but it's like I find it so like so often when people are like, the common opinion is, yeah, this thing is awful, this thing is bad, and then I play it or I watch it and I'm like, I thought it was okay. Like that happens so often. I'm starting to notice. And it kind of like reinforces what I said earlier. Like, I don't give a shit about reviews. I don't care what other people say about this, and I'm so sick of being told, yeah, don't play this, or yeah, don't watch this. And it's like, hey, bitch, guess what? I'm doing it anyway, and you can't stop me. And guess what? I already played Halo 5 before you even said anything, and I liked it. God damn it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Stick it to him.
Uh,
I guess.
So yeah, Halo kind of big. I guess the moral of this that we were going with is like, we love Halo, like we really love Halo, and I'm just appalled that it's taken this long for Chief to come back, and you know
I guess.
yeah, no, like
I guess.
yeah. Well, not only that, but just okay. This has been a interesting rematch. We're with Goku and Superman. It's like, okay, we've been getting new Dragon Ball and Superman content like every fucking day, every fucking month.
Yeah.
Halo and Doom content, that took a while. Like 343 Studios had to take over the difficult position of trying to continue Master Chief's story without Bungie being the one to be at the helm. But at the same time, I can at least say from the walkthroughs I've seen of Infinite, I think that, okay, yes, Halo 5 would be the weakest chapter of their trilogy, but I wouldn't say that it's so god-awful it killed the franchise. If anything, that's the live-action show.
I still haven't seen that.
No, and I pray you never do. But I also want to just throw the spotlight on Doom. Like, Bethesda are the ones who brought Doom Guy back into the modern, and I didn't even get to address this. By the way, Doom is responsible for Halo and other first-person shooters like Call of Duty and everything. Like, Doom Guy was the father of that shit, and
It's almost like that's part of the reason this match exists.
yeah, no, and like I played Doom 2016. I didn't get to finish it, and I didn't get to refinish it. But I did watch gameplay walkthroughs of it to get the gist of the story and the gameplay. My only problem with it in the beginning was I felt like it was a bit too sluggish. But Doom Eternal fixed all of that. Like, Doom Eternal's fantastic. I can see why that won Game of the Year, or it was in the Game of the Year, contendership.
Okay. I really need to play the modern Doom games. I've been interested in them for a while. I just haven't. I haven't.
They're very fun. Like they take what, hell, you can even play the old Doom games, because
True.
they put out the first two Doom games, and they not only included the base games, but they included a bunch of mods that fans have created, a bunch of patches, modes you can do. So it's very much worth it.
That's fun.
Yeah, so this fight to me is the rematch of the century, not Goku versus Superman. That's how I've always looked at this fight.
Yeah, that freaking. I know we kind of glaze Sheep with like, how is he not come back? Like, freaking, you want to talk about characters that desperately needed the run back on their show? Like, freaking Doom Guy. Okay, well, I think Cap's probably still number one, but still, Doom Guy is still like up there, like for sure. Like Doom Guy has always been up there,
Especially when you get to power, because okay, Bro was not lowballing it earlier. He wasn't underselling it. These two have radically changed since 13 years ago, and that doesn't just come from the fact that they have new games with new developers. No, that comes from the fact that the characters and the crap that they have done dwarf the previous matchup, because they were only using Doom Guy with the first two games, and that was it. Whereas Master Chief had Halo 1, 2, and 3, and that was it. And the stuff that Bethesda and 343 Studios story-wise had these two characters do, these two are essentially together. They are pretty much gods, like in terms of what they currently can do now.
Yeah.
And I've been very excited to talk about this because of that. But then the unfortunately tragic thing happens. The matchup that I and other people voted for, and some of us voted for, gets ridiculed because it's a stomp matchup, and it's looked at in such this fight has a lot to prove, and I hate it because it's seen in a negative light from multiple different angles.
It really shouldn't have that much to prove, I'll be honest. And okay, the frickin' did you guys not see the Mahito Shigaraki? Did you not? Was that not one-sided to you?
It's just okay. Again, there have been.
Sorry,
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Okay, if you were to just go on Reddit, on Twitter, on Blue Sky, on YouTube, this fight is mixed right down to the middle. Half are looking forward to it and excited about it, and then the other half, they hate this matchup and hate the people who brought it into existence, and they also hate the fact that one of their favorite characters is going to die, and it's not fair.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
What do you think of that?
let me just say this. And this is coming from someone who didn't vote for this matchup on the rematch poll. I need to make something abundantly clear. If you all don't like this match and didn't want it to happen, that's cool. That's fair. As
long as you're being respectful about it.
Like I said, I didn't vote for it. But if that's the case, then why did you all vote for this one to win?
Well, okay. Yeah, no, it's literally, again, SpongeBob meme. Well, I didn't want Master Chief versus Doom Guy. Then why did you ask for it?
Exactly.
This fight, again, I'm not going into specifics here, but even the main animator himself is coming under controversy for being involved in this fight. That is how low this fight is, and I feel like it's now it is stupid. This fight is essentially the underdog of the independent era, and I don't understand why.
Okay. Like I don't know. Like I feel like people should just have, I mean, I say this, how many times have we had to go over this? Like, how many times do we have to go over the fact that even like a one-sided matchup could be a really fun time and a spectacle and all that stuff and be fun?
Yeah.
Like, how the hell? Like, listen, I completely understand if you just don't, like, if you don't want to see your character lose, if they're like a comfort character, like, you like them a lot and they're serious a lot. That's perfectly fair. That's perfectly fine to like, oh, he's gonna die. Like, it's okay to be like sad about that, but well, not only could this fight be a little more debatable than you think in certain,
which Bro and I will get into.
Yeah. Again, how many stomp matchups have we had on this show that have been like all timers? Like freaking there's too many to count at this rate.
I'll do you one better. It was like how like for all of the Stomp matchups we had, how many times have I had to go back and tell you the highest viewed episode of this whole show of all time is a matchup that is 100%, will always be 100% a Stomp fight. And we still talk about it, and we still go over it. But no, it's just like the waiting period. So the waiting period for this fight for me has been excruciating, and it's not because I want this. It's not even because I want the fight to come out of excitement anymore. It's excruciating because this fight has just been coming under constant controversy, left and right, up and down, all sides, and it all stems from the fact, half of it stems from the fact, nobody wanted this fight. And that's why they avoided voting for it, those who contributed. And then the other half comes from the fact that, oh, they blame the Doom community for shilling and glazing Doom Slayer up. And then the other half is Halo don't treat Halo with respect. It's coming from everywhere. And I honestly am just wanting this fight to be and done with so we can move on. Because my God.
It is a shame that
it feels like this. Everybody is treating this. Half of the community is punched their mother in the face and committed an a sinnable.
Yeah. I really. I mean, I know this could probably be a whole other topic, but I really wish the whole, like, you know, you wanted this matchup just so you could see this character win. Like, I really wish that argument would die. Like, of course,
I do too.
I can't. But listen, I can't say that isn't the case for certain matchups. That is impossible for me to deny that. And heck, you know what? Maybe there are certain people who wanted this fight because a certain side wins. But like, again, that can't be, like, that can't account for every single person who wanted this fight. It's statistically impossible for that to be the case. Like, again, maybe some people, like, just like Richard, like, are just really big fans of Halo and Doom and just really wanted to see this matchup come to life again, like, updated with all their new shit, and, you know,
right.
And maybe, I don't know,
that's entirely, you are 100% right. That's the reason I voted for this. I wanted this fight because I want this fight to be done again. I want to see, like, think about it. How many more times were we gonna, if this fight wasn't part of the rematch poll, how many more years were we gonna wait before we finally got it?
That is another thing. Yeah, could have been a whole Kolak situation again.
Because, again, this fight should have happened as soon as 2016 Doom. This fight should have happened as soon as Doom Eternal came out. And it took this long. I want this fight. I've been wanting and begging for them to do it again. Because I believe both characters should be allowed to. And it allows the Halo community and the Doom community to get their characters back onto the show. And also, too, what if this episode does Gamebuster? This could be a potential trending episode, for God's sakes.
Which it probably will be, let's be honest. But we'll see, but it probably will be. So.
Speaking of the what ifs, I guess now that I'm all of the segues aren't hitting today. I'm doing the best here.
Well, before that, bro, is there anything else you wanted to say on this? Like, since, you know,
I mean,
is there anything you wanted to contribute?
I mean, not really. I just kind of want to reiterate the point I said earlier, like, and I think you'll see just like why I'm as frustrated as I am about it later. But it's like, if y'all didn't want this, if y'all hate this fight so much, if this fight like hurt you on a personal level or something, okay, cool, then why did you vote for it?
Or
Okay,
better
knock on wood.
question, then don't. Why are you gonna watch it?
That is true. Yeah, you could also just not watch the episode, but you're not gonna do that now, are you?
No.
It's like I mean, I'm personally just of the opinions like Death Battle just do whatever the hell they want. If they want to put like,
That's right, yeah.
if they want to do like a can versus a piece of paper, then go for it. But like if they can make that shit cool, then do it. Like I am beyond the point where I care what matchups ever happen anymore. But it's just like in this case, well, for one, with all the again, we'll get into it later. For all the shit that we had to do for this one, first, like y'all better be freaking grateful.
No shit.
No.
With all of that in mind, and with how much this like, it's like we could have avoided. Like, if y'all hate this so much, we could have avoided this. Like,
We really could have. We could be living in a timeline where this didn't win. Like it was Mewtwo versus Shadow, or another timeline where it was the worst of them all. It could have been Ben versus Hal, for God's sakes.
Goodness.
it's like
Goodness.
it's like when this won, everyone was so stoked for it, and now it's here, and now everyone's like, they're either A, just shitting on it, or B, both communities, instead of coming together and like and celebrating, oh hell yeah, we're getting our series, we're getting our characters, we're getting our crossover that Microsoft turned down, which we're not going to talk about. Nope. We're gonna treat this like a dick measuring contest, and we'll get to that later.
Oh dear.
And again, this could have been avoided. Like, and again, I'm saying this. I love Halo. Okay, I don't have much to comment on Doom. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that right now. But I understand. Okay, this match is iconic. It's a legendary rivalry here. The original episode, it's a season 1 episode, but and it's got its problems. It hasn't aged the best. I understand the need to do this again. But the fact of the matter is that this community voted for this. Like, everybody should be. They paid to have this happen.
That's the key thing. We voted with our wallets, literally.
And if you're gonna turn around and be like, okay, it's like, why did you vote for it? Why did you vote for this? What? And I could speak for me and Richard when I say this. Our jobs would have been a lot easier.
It would have. You people have no idea the hell we went through, and it like, look, I'll just end it off by that. Yeah, no, he's right. If you didn't want this, why the fuck did you vote for it? Why didn't you vote for Mewtwo versus Shadow more? Why didn't you vote to have, I don't know, Ben come back just to die again and make mine and Bro's jobs even hypothetically in another timeline?
Oh, jeez.
Why did you vote for this? Like, it baffles my mind, and now my excitement for this episode is low. I'm cautiously optimistic about this fight. I shouldn't be cautiously optimistic. I should be happy and excited, but I'm not. I'm having to depend on what was shown today at the sneak peek, which we're going to talk about that sneak peek because it gave me a tiny bit of hope, just a tiny bit of hope that this episode will be as good as I want it to be for having to wait 13 damn years to get it. You all suck. That's the message. You all suck.
Basically.
Can't have anything. Man, god dang it.
Hopefully this episode will just be awesome and prove everyone wrong and then shut them up.
I swear to God, I don't know what it is. Fuck, I didn't hear a single goddamn complaint any type that this matchup's been receiving. Mahito. That was actually. He was right. No,
Yep.
it's only the video game map. It's only the video game maps that get this.
Yeah, this. I don't know.
Anyway.
Well,
moving
anyway,
on.
you want to talk? Okay, you want to talk about the preview? Let's talk about the preview.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
I'm
want
a
to talk about the
positive
preview.
On a more positive note, yeah, what the hell? Yeah, it's looking great.
Yeah,
okay.
it looks great.
So,
I'm just gonna say that right now.
It looks
Yeah.
fantastic. Okay, Devil Artemis, a solid choice. But even better, they brought back my boy David Fisher to come back. He hasn't worked on an episode since Goku vs Superman 3. Yeah, that was this episode.
Dude.
But him and Devil are frequent collaborators, so I'm happy that they let Daniel come aboard for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. It looks great.
Yeah, I dig it.
And I love.
Because oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say it does look. I don't know. Maybe I need to rewatch it. There are some parts that don't look as like well lighted as I would have expected, but like I'm sure that's just a preview thing. I don't know. Maybe
That
I'll go
or
fix this episode.
it's meant. I guess it's supposed to be the environment. Like they're trying to. Like okay.
I mean, they are in a darkly, like, right off the bat, they are in a darkly lit area. So like,
Yeah.
That's
Maybe
fair.
that's intentional.
Mhm.
Also, the obvious thing. They're gonna fight in hell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Heck
Let's
yeah.
fucking go. We're gonna be.
Another fight
we're
going
gonna.
to hell.
Yeah, no.
Here.
This is the second death battle where independent death battle where the characters go to hell to fight.
Exactly. Yeah, no,
This
I'm
is
excited.
amazing.
I'm excited for what's gonna ensue there. That's gonna be cool.
Yeah, no, me too. They didn't reveal voice actors, so
Nope.
we don't know
Which
who's
I'm-
voicing them.
very curious as to why.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Ben didn't even address it. I don't know. Maybe whoever put together this preview wasn't told to do it, or maybe I don't know. I can't say.
Or maybe it's an official thing. I don't know. Probably.
I mean, okay. Real talk though, I don't know who's voicing Chief, but they're doing a really good job.
Okay, so that I'm gonna bet dollars to don't. My microphone is acting up. Hold on. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna bet dollars to donuts that is probably Gianni Montegrano. If you've seen
Really?
Gianni Montegrano's YouTube channel, he's done Master Chief skits. He sounds identical to Steven.
Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely one thing that like they absolutely need it. Like, okay, I know like we kind of go back and forth about voice actors being like, oh, sometimes they gotta sound exactly like the characters, and sometimes they'll be like, oh, I mean they talk like the characters. That's good enough for me. Master Chief is a character you really needed to get right, because part of what makes him so iconic is the very iconic and soothing voice of Stephen Downes.
Yeah, Stephen Downes is up there, in my opinion, with Kevin Conroy as one of the best sounding character actors. You can't think of anyone else voicing Master Chief but Stephen.
Yeah, I really can't, because they've tried it.
Yeah,
Halo
on multiple
themselves,
occasions.
Halo themselves have tried it, and to be fair, they're not awful, but they're not the same.
Yeah, I mean, Master Chief's whoever did Master Chief Halo live action movie, that was actually pretty good. It sounded close to a young Stephen Downes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. If I'm betting that's Gianni. Gianni Montegrano is the only person I know who can do a flawless Master Chief impression, and he's the only actor that's on a retainer. So I would imagine they probably heard him do Master Chief at one point or another, and Marissa just got him in. But yeah, that, and of course you have to reference the Sir finishing this fight. You have to-
that had to do that.
You had to do that.
Yeah, and then also So Doom
Slayer.
Guy's an interesting situation. Doom Guy.
Yeah, Doomslayer is talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna explain that. Yeah. So okay,
Yeah.
Doomslayer can talk. But so in the new games, he's still a silent protagonist for the most part, but he only says when he does speak, it's very straightforward, it's very concise, and it's only a small handful of words. Like I can count on how many fingers he's talked, and it's less than you think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, obviously his main catchphrase in the new games by Bethesda is "rip and tear." Like that's his main catchphrase is "rip and tear." But he has said other things before that, and I'm pretty sure I can't remember who voices him in Doom Eternal, but Doomslayer's voice actor also voices the devil in his universe. I'll explain that in just a little bit when we get to the debate section. So yeah, Doomslayer. Okay, I'm imagine if that's Liam or if that's Billy Doomslayer.
Okay, well, I'm gonna throw out my guess. Well, first of all, Matthew Watterson was the voice in.
Yeah, I just looked it up.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
I knew it
But
was
no.
Matthew something.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna get my guess out there. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna say this is Chris Guerrero. Not gonna lie.
If it's Chris Guerrero as Doomslayer, then holy shit.
I
Chris could get
don't
his
know.
first win.
Maybe. Yeah. There you go. After how long? But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Just the gruffness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Doomslayer is a very rough character.
Yeah.
When he does talk, he sounds like he's smoked about 9 malls.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Or
Yeah,
or there's a third option we're not considering.
And who might that be?
It could be Devil Artemis himself, because Devil has in his. My mic cut out. I'm sorry. It could be, it could be Devil Artemis because Devil's voiced Doomslayer in the past.
Okay. No, I
Yeah.
need to compare the two voices after we're done here.
Yeah. But
I don't know.
yeah.
Either way.
Also, I hope Brandon does the track.
They probably will.
This track needs to slap.
Yeah, I don't know. I imagine it's gonna be a brand track. I don't know. I feel like he gets the heaviest of heavy metal on the show.
He
I
really
guess that's
does.
the best way to put it. And considering the new Doom soundtracks, I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, actually, okay, hold on. I need to comment on this.
Sure.
Oh wait, actually,
So,
just type.
I need this track to be okay. So, I know it's so easy to be like, oh yeah, Doom soundtrack. Yeah, let's just mirror that. I get it. I understand it. But I feel like that's okay. How do I word this? I feel like it's a bit disingenuous to Halo music. Because a miraculous fact that this community doesn't realize, because this community is very. You know what? I probably shouldn't say that. Never. I take that back. Okay. I want it to be a. Okay. I know it's like this super. Like it's like duh. But I want this to be a blend. I know that sounds like, well, yeah, no shit. But hear me out. Another part of what makes Halo as iconic as it is its soundtrack. And yes, it doesn't get as like super heavy metal, like I'm gonna shred my throat today. As but it's like the soundtrack in Halo, it comes at you when like something big is happening, and it just like it for a while the game is like the game's music is like relatively in the background. Like if it's in the if not in the background, then it's not there at all. And then you get to like a tipping point, and then it just like it basically like punches you in the face. It's more it is more orchestral than like heavy rock. There is some rock in there, but so many like Let's Players I see play Halo, like whenever like the music kicks in, everyone like they just stop. They're like, oh, and like I said this in a separate call, and I also said this in a stream I did a few days ago, but I've gone on record. I've called the series' main theme. I've called it the gamer national anthem, because like, tell me it's not.
I mean, I feel like either that or Uncharted. Does that feel?
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. It's just I understand, you know, again, like I said, this community is very like it hears like the heavy stuff. Like this, I feel like this community more so drifts towards like really heavy music, the type of music that like Doom's got.
Right.
Yeah. And I understand why. So like when this like everyone's like, oh, let's get something that references that like really leans into Doom music. Let's like some people have even gone so far as to say like let's just go ahead and get like Mick Gordon to be on it. I'm like, hey, yeah, okay. I won't deny that would be cool, but like I don't know, can we have a little bit of that? Like I feel like you guys don't really understand how impactful and how iconic Halo music is. Right. I don't know. Yeah, so I like I said, I know it sounds super obvious, like yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Like yeah, we gotta get, yeah, of course it needs to be a blend, but it's like, is it really that obvious for me to say though? But anyway, I'm sure they'll cook with it.
Right, they will.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna be a little bit pickier as a Halo fan.
Understood.
I get that.
So anyways,
yeah.
All right. So now is it debate time?
I think it's debate time.
All right.
All right.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. So here's how this is gonna work. Y'all know how we do this now. I won't go into the spiel. I mean, I haven't done the spiel in a while, so you know.
If you know, you know.
Yeah. If you know, you know, and you know. So how this is gonna work today? I'm repping Master Chief. If that wasn't obvious enough. Richard is repping Doomslayer.
Yep.
Because the two of us, man, we just can't get a break that's longer than one episode.
Nope.
Okay, I would actually like to use this opportunity to mention. It's been 8 episodes of this new style we've been doing, and me and Richard have not been against each other once.
Nope.
Nope. That will change.
So,
That will change. I can't say what episode. I can't say on what episode, but it will change.
Yep.
oh yeah, well, for sure. I just wanted to point that out.
I mean, I guess I can say, but I'm not going to, because where's the fun in that?
Exactly.
But okay. Look. I am going to go ahead and go on record and say I can't speak for Richard in this front. I'm only speaking from my perspective, but
Yep.
I'm going to go on record and say that this was easily the most exhausting experience I've had in researching a character since we've started doing this. And I know full well what that implies. I know that I'm saying, yes, this was more exhausting than Eggman. This was more exhausting than Ghost Rider. This was more exhausting than Among Us, and I had to catalog over 100 weapons at least from a game that they barely even talked about in the episode. So thank you for that. I know me saying that this is the most exhausting one. I know what I'm comparing it to. I stand by it. Cause okay. Outside of the games, so we have the 5 main games. We have Infinite, we have Reach. I know Chief doesn't appear in Reach, but I had to look into it anyway. There is the Spartan games. There's an arcade game that I'm sure none of you know what I'm talking about. There's ODST. There's the Halo Wars games. So there's that, and then there are comics. There are like 5 or 6 comic runs. Each are a handful of issues long. And that's not the worst thing ever. Compared to Ghost Rider, it's a piece of cake. There's an encyclopedia, which I bought off Amazon, and it is a literal school textbook. I'm not even exaggerating when I say that.
Oh dear.
There is a animated miniseries. There is a live action miniseries. There's the live action show, which I didn't watch. Again, I've said that before. There is an anime-esque anthology series. There is art books. There is a personal journal from one of the characters. There is a bunch of other guides, and there are almost 40 novels. Each of them are hundreds of pages long. I am really tired.
Oh dear. Oh no. Yeah.
So obvious disclaimer, I didn't cover everything, okay? So if there's something I tried, I really did. Because for as iconic as Halo is, you would actually be very surprised how under-researched this godforsaken franchise is.
Honestly, another reason why I'm kind of surprised it's happening as soon as it is, but whatever. Based on your freaking guide alone for Chief.
Yeah. So yeah, so and I'm sure Richard, how would it go for you?
Regrettably, not as extensive and as expansive as yours, but all I had to do. So okay, I have I have most of the game's plot from the original games memorized. The biggest thing I had to get myself back into was the Bethesda series, so that includes gameplay walkthroughs of, and bear in mind, I did not watch story cutscenes. I specifically, because it just felt better that way. So I watched walkthroughs for both Doom 2016, Doom Eternal. I also had to watch walkthroughs of the Doom Eternal DLC. And I had to look up lore on Doomslayer on YouTube. I had to composite a bunch of different mental notes on this character. So, and I did skim and read the comic, the 1996 comic that was used in Master Chief, kind of expand and help Doomslayer's origin. I did not replay Doom 1 and 2. I did not play Doom 3. My primary the Bethesda games actually have a crap load of lore, just like Halo. So, and the first 3 games are primarily not that lore centric, but what is there, it can be combined with the Bethesda games, so they kind of just blend together a little bit. And I did not watch, I did not rewatch the live-action Doom movie or its sequel that I did not know existed until months ago. So there you go.
Okay, so basically the point I'm trying to say is there's a lot.
There is a lot.
There's a lot, and we're tired.
I will say this. It was very exhausting because, I had to get into dimension scaling for Doomslayer. So, yeah, this is my first time going over dimension shit, and I had to get help for this. Yeah, the fucking second game of the Bethesda series, we're going dimensional tiering up in this bitch. So, prepare yourselves, and I hope that my good enough. But yeah, so I had my own trials with this with researching. So y'all better enjoy it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there's more I want to say on the debate of this, but I'll save that for after we get through our opening statements. All right. So. Yeah, so this is Master Chief versus Doomslayer, so I will take the first crack at it. Y'all might want to sit yourselves down. Y'all might want to sit down, strap in, get whatever snacks or something. I don't know. Because this is gonna be a lot, so just bear with me.
That's it.
Okay. Born in the Aridness 2 system in 2511, John was not your average boy. Even at 6 years old, John was stronger, faster, and luckier than the kids he grew up with. One day, while beating the shit out of other kids during a game of King of the Hill, John was approached by Dr. Catherine Halsey, who studied his abilities and character. Soon after, John was abducted by the United Nations Space Command, and replaced by an imperfect clone that would be sent back to his family, and then die a few months later. The real John would be enlisted into Dr. Halsey's Spartan 2 program as Spartan 117, an experimental UNSC program that would turn children into super soldiers to battle the enemy insurrection. John trained to the point of vomiting, and he made mistakes along the way, but he still had what it took to survive for 8 years and become squad leader of the other Spartans he trained with. At 14 years old, John and his Spartans went under augmentation, with advanced material grafting into a skeletal structure to make his bones unbreakable, protein complex to increase muscle density, human growth catalyst to boost the growth of skeletal and muscle tissue, boosted blood vessel flow to boost his visual perception, and alteration of bioelectric nerves, literally shocking their reflexes to be increased by 300%. All this combined increased John's strength, speed, and durability to superhuman levels. Even at this age, Halsey noted that John had the body of an 18-year-old Olympic athlete. This process was so dangerous, over half of the candidates didn't survive, and a fraction of those that did were disfigured to the point of being unfit for combat. John, however, survived unscathed, and good thing too, because a few months later, humanity would have its first encounter with a group of aliens called the Covenant, who possessed technology far beyond the UNSC's capabilities. Upon reaching the rank of Master Chief Petty Officer, John and his Spartans were invaluable in the war effort, nearly saving whole planets from getting turned to glass by the Covenant's plasma cannons. But he couldn't do it without some impressive tech and weapons. As a Spartan, Master Chief has worn a variety of experimental Mjolnir armor, but his current and best is the Gen 3 armor. This armor utilizes a neural interface implanted in his brain, so his movements and weapons are controlled at the speed of his thoughts. The armor itself is composed of a strong titanium alloy and refractive rechargeable energy shield to block bullets and disperse plasma blasts. And internally, the suit regulates temperature and reactively changes its density, which can let John survive in almost any environment. He's even survived being unconscious out in the vacuum of space for 6 months straight. The armor also has a layer of hydrostatic gel that can automatically pressurize to help Chief survive in extreme high gravity levels, or even falls from hundreds of feet into the air. The helmet's heads-up display shows Chief his ammo count, grenade count, a targeting reticle, shield levels, and a motion tracker that can detect enemies from several feet away. The armor also has a computer system that prevents an enemy AI from interfering with its functions, and injectors that can pump biofoam into open wounds. But the armor can also utilize several additional equipment, ranging from a deployable bubble shield, an overshield to increase his energy shielding, a power drain that emits an EMP, and a regenerator to replenish his energy shields. There's also special abilities and cores for even more tools, such as active camouflage, a hard light shield, a thruster pack, a grapple shot that can even channel electricity through the cable, and a threat sensor or Promethean vision for seeing enemies through walls and fog, even when they're invisible. The armor also has a layer of crystal that forms a network capable of supporting a Starship-grade AI, and Master Chief was paired with easily the best of them all, Cortana. Born from the mind of Dr. Halsey, Cortana boosts Chief's already enhanced senses and was built for software intrusion, and has a laundry list of hacking feats to cover. She's caused chaos in the Office of Naval Intelligence's security measures just because she was bored, found and copied every piece of data on Chief within 70 milliseconds, can perform 1 trillion calculations per second, processed and understood the entire sum of recorded human knowledge in less than 2 hours, and cracked a 128,000-bit encryption key in just a few minutes. For reference, even the best supercomputers in the modern day would take longer than the universe's lifespan to crack an encryption file like that through brute force. And while yes, Cortana would eventually suffer a form of rampancy due to her age and would eventually go mad, Chief eventually helped Halsey create an exact copy of her called the Weapon, that has all of her functions and capabilities.
Is this called the Weapon?
It's she's like she claim okay, she's never actually given a name. The subtitles just call her Weapon. Because like she's basically a weapon against Cortana. But by the end of the game, she's like, this is an infinite, by the way. by the end of the game, she's like, I think I picked the perfect name for myself, and they don't elaborate on that.
Okay, carry on.
I imagine they're just going to call her Cortana again, but I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah.
But of course, armor and AI is helpful, but as you know, the Master Chief needs a weapon. And he's got plenty to choose from. Assault rifles, magnums, submachine guns, battle rifles, DMRs, shotguns, and frag grenades make up the usual UNSC weaponry. But occasionally, Chief will find something with a bit more firepower, such as the M41 rocket launcher, the ARC 920 railgun, and the M6R Spartan laser, which after a 5-second charge fires a microsecond long solid state laser. But while Master Chief's war with the Covenant led to several losses, including several Spartans and even their quote-unquote home planet of Reach, it did lead to one benefit. While Master Chief can only carry about 2 or 3 weapons at a time, he's a master of finding exactly what weapons he needs mid-combat and use it perfectly, including alien weaponry. This gives Chief access to stuff like the Covenant's plasma rifle, Covenant carbine, particle beam rifle, and fuel rod cannon, the Banished Ravager, Skewer, and Stalker rifle, and the Forerunners light rifle, scattershot, incineration cannon, and binary rifle, the latter of which utilizes antimatter particles to disintegrate the target's body. But the rarest and one of the most iconic is the Type 1 energy sword. With a pair of 3-foot-long blades, this superheated plasma sword, try saying that 5 times fast, can cut through any armor with ease and can even block bullets. So the Master Chief has proven his mettle against even the worst of his world. And when the UNSC discovered the deadly weapon called Halo, which can kill all sentient life within 25,000 light years to starve the parasitic species called the Flood, Master Chief was there to take it down and save the galaxy. Master Chief has defeated the Covenant Prophets, a Forerunner called the Didact, and an ancient Harbinger that was going to awaken a horde of beings called the Endless. He's strong enough to flip 66-ton tanks, break the bones of orbital drop shock troopers at 14 years old, lift an I-beam buried under a granite boulder the size of a warthog, the vehicle, not the animal, and crack a Pelican's windshield just by punching it. He's fast enough to sprint half a kilometer in 32 seconds flat, dodged point-blank minigun fire, dodged plasma shots, and flew a jetpack at 9% light speed, even having to precisely get inside a Covenant ship while doing so. And his armor is tough enough to survive laser shots from a Halo monitor, which killed the certified GOAT, that is Sergeant Johnson, in one shot. He survived falls from orbit, being buried under an avalanche, and cannon shots from Banshees. And those hard light shields of his can survive the epicenter of a Havoc nuke, which explodes with a yield of 30 megatons of TNT. The Master Chief is an insanely skilled and powerful soldier, and with the help of his allies, is a master of achieving the impossible. So let this be a warning to all those who threaten the galaxy. The Master Chief Petty Officer John 117 will always be there to finish the fight.
Hey. Oh, very nice. Very nicely done.
All right.
All right, Richard, your turn.
Stay sitting down. We have a tale. So, a long time ago, the UAC had a Marine whose name was unknown. All we knew is that he was told by his officer that he was the best of the best, until one day his officer made him fire upon a random crowd of people. Not wanting to do so and thinking his orders were a bunch of bullcrap, he shot at him, and because of this, he was demoted to the Mars Initiative, where he would essentially play the role of janitor. But when Hell invaded, they killed everybody, and the only one that was there who could do something was this man. And this man we're gonna call Doom Guy, because that's exactly what he was to Hell, their doom. Upon taking them down, he eventually was thrown right into Hell, and he had been there for God knows how long. Time does not pass the same way it does in our reality. He could have been there for months, years, maybe a century, but what we do know is that he killed everything in his path using whatever tools he could, and eventually he came across one of the most powerful creatures there, who was so sick of him being a nuisance that he was cast out of Hell and into a random place, not Earth, but not even his own side of the galaxy. What we do know is that when he landed on this planet, they were interested in his skill set. They were a place of knights that took him in, trained him, made him captain of their armies, and they were so impressed by him that he essentially became a knight. And then he was told that he would have to fight Hell again, and this time he would have a comrade of different teams backing him up. And eventually, as no surprise to anybody, he was their best weapon. It was because of his military strategy, his experience in fighting Hell itself, that he was able to win their victories time after time after time. Eventually, there was a coup that arose, and that coup basically meant that he was betrayed by his comrade, and so he was essentially the last one standing, and because of this, he was captured, and upon being captured, he was taken in to a gladiatorial arena, and there he was very impressive, stripped of his armor, stripped of his everything that came his just bare hands, ripped them up with such strength that it was like they were being crushed by a building. He came at them with such speeds, it is as if lightning itself was there in the Colosseum, and then he was finally taken in again. This time, he was given an initiative. He would be transformed, and he would essentially have the blood, the life force of the creator itself. And when he woke up, he was given a new name, because the name this comes from is when he woke up and when he went into battle, Hell was scared of him. They retreated at his presence, but he killed them. And thus, everyone in attendance bowed down to the Doomslayer, as it was foretold long ago in ancient prophecies. And eventually, the Doomslayer knew what killing and being the last defense for Hell. But unfortunately, he had become too strong, too unkillable, almost entirely impossible to get rid of on this plane of reality. So, the creatures came up with an idea. Hell would trap Doomslayer, and they would put him in a sarcophagus. This sarcophagus was meant to suspend him in animation, and they would lock him in a tomb, and their biggest prayer was that the tomb itself would Doomslayer for all time, possibly to the end of their reality. But unfortunately, he was awoken by some scientist who wanted to study the principles of Hell Rift energy, and thus Doomslayer was awake again. And after going on a countless amount of fetch quest and a new mission trying to take down Hell itself again, this time he was betrayed by the person who woke him up. The person cast him back into Hell, and Doomslayer was trapped there, not knowing how to get out, for he had just given the scientist the key he needed to possibly getting the information from Hell that he wanted. But, as luck would have it, in Doom Eternal, he was back, now in his own floating space solid called the Doom. This was where he put together his newest final. Went out on his mission was to take down the creator. Made begin with, and he succeeded. He took down their priest, who were told to be on the same power level as God itself. He took down a titan that was going to essentially, if not already did, rewrite reality, and this was born from one of his previous one who betrayed them. And finally, he would come face to face with the final himself, God. But it wasn't just God. No, no, no. This was the devil. The devil had been revealed to be the one who created Doom. In fact, the devil himself created the entire, but he needed a body, trapped in the fifth day. And thanks to Doomslayer crushing his thought, he was free, and in his image, he chose to take on the one person that Doomslayer would recognize, himself. And they had an epic final battle. Comrades of Doomslayer would come together to take down Hell for the final time, and the devil was leading the army in a mech suit that was going to destroy the universe itself. And then Doomslayer emerged victorious, granting his warrior opponent a horrible death, not wanting to acknowledge his creator. But unfortunately, Doomslayer was trapped once again, put into a sarcophagus that kept him in suspended animation. And now, they can only hope that no stupid fool dare wake him, for if they do, Hell itself will be destroyed. So, that's the Doomslayer. Now, the Doomslayer has had a lot of armor, and it's difficult to say which, but we're gonna go with the Eternal one, because this is his main standard loadout. This armor is mostly, and I mean mostly, impossible to break or even damage using Earth methods. It's practically unbreakable, it's indestructible, it can survive rigid and horrible temperatures, from the coldest of cold weathers to the hottest weathers of the sun itself. He has a shoulder-mounted wrist blade. This blade came from Hell, and it's unbreakable. No mortal weapon can break it or smash it. He also has a rocket launcher on his shoulder, but this rocket launcher doesn't launch rockets, it launches grenades, it launches fire, it launches freezing grenades, and it can even launch other things amongst that. He also has jet boots that propel him where he needs to go, and it should be noted that it has spinal augmentation, meaning that he can be as flexible and contort himself if he needed to for some tight corridors. And the helmet itself is his main method of breathing and surviving the vacuum of space itself, giving him unlimited amounts of oxygen with no chances of running out should he be forced to fight in the space itself. But that's not what makes the Doomslayer cool. It's his weapons, and he's got a lot of them. Starting off, we have the shotgun. This shotgun can be modified and upgraded to include as many pellets and rounds as it wants, and it also has explosive grenades attached to it. But as we know, Doomslayer doesn't just prefer one shotgun. No, he likes a sexy, powerful shotgun that will take down anybody in its path. And this is where the super shotgun comes in. Very similar to the first shotgun with modifications added, and he can essentially do his best Scorpion impression because the shotgun also comes included with a grappling hook that he can use to traverse many distances, or if he wants to do his MK audition, he can fire the shotgun and it goes straight into the chest cavities of a person who happens to be near it to zip him across to whatever platform he needs. He also has a grenade. He also has a chain gun. This chain gun can actually be upgraded, a rail, and it delivers. Then, Oh.
Like, yeah, I know
I'm
what
sorry.
maybe
I
that one.
cut out. Yeah, I'm sorry. So, as I was saying, this new chain gun is better than the old chain gun with its modifications. And then you have the explosive gun. This explosive gun essentially operates on that it can just explode whatever is in his way, and it deals in mostly plasma, which brings me to the plasma gun. The plasma gun makes its return, and not only can it fire standard bolts of plasma, but Doomguy made a modification to it, like he did with his other guns, to essentially have it emit a solid beam of light that can kill somebody in one shot, fully disintegrating them from its genetic level. And then we also have, of course, the Unmaker. If you're familiar with the Unmaker, then you should know that this devastating thing can kill and take down enemies that are specifically from Hell, and it has a powerful blast radius. And that's not even the best part. He also has his chainsaw. This chainsaw, of course, is gas powered, but it can take down anybody it wants, and he has killed enemies that have been able to resist mortal weapons with it. I'll get to that in just a bit. And then finally, of course, there's the big one, the Omega Gun. The reason why Doom is so beloved, the big fucking gun 9000, but this time it came from a different gun. You see, the UAC were able to take the BFG's design and turn it into an actual planet-destroying weapon, and Doomguy used it to blow a hole in the crater of Mars, but also self-destruct the thing. But before he set it to self-destruct, he took the power source, which was the BFG 9000. The BFG can be upgraded to fire 30 shots, and it will disintegrate and anybody within a close approximate radius. If you or multiple people happen to be in the path of this thing, you're dead. So you best make peace with your god and just pray that you die quickly. And finally, he has the Crucible Sword. This sword was forged in Hell itself, just like his armor, and it is essentially a key to taking down a Titan, the Sin himself. And he can essentially use it as a regular blade, very much like how Chief can use the swords for him, the energy swords for him. Although it does take about 3 tries before you have to reload it with Hell energy. However, anything that gets struck by this blade, it's going bye-bye. The Doomslayer is strong enough to contend and beat the Devil, the Titan of Sin. Both of these two characters said to essentially rip apart reality as we know it on the 3rd dimension. And he's also strong enough to rip apart doors with his bare hands, be able to rip demons apart like they were made out of cardboard, and he also can lift heavy materials if he needed to. His speed is unbelievable. After a bit of training with one of the priests that took him in, the Doomslayer was able to traverse the 9 circles of Hell. Now this is important because the 9 circles of Hell were created by the Devil himself, who created Hell as a concept and heaven itself. And he told that anybody who could cross the 9 infinite dimensions of Hell would be unstoppable. And Doomslayer did just that, meaning that his speeds are incalculable. They can't be measured by our human methods. His durability is insane. As I've said, he wears armor that makes him practically indestructible. No mortal weapon, such as swords, guns, rockets, anything bigger than a nuke, they can't kill him. The only way anybody could possibly do some damage on him if they were to use the very material that the Doomslayer's armor was forged from. And finally, he's intelligent. He may look like just a brute, but he has captained and led armies all his life to victories against multiple spouts with hell, and each time they were just lucky that the Doomslayer was there, because had he not been there, they would have lost. The Doomslayer is dangerous. He was once a Doom guy, but now, because of what he's done and because of his story, he is a slayer to hell itself, and may God have mercy for anybody that gets in his way. Whew. I'm done.
All right, now the interesting part.
Yeah. Okay. Well, all right. I think this is important to just get out. I'm just gonna get it out there right out the gate, because I feel like if I don't say this, people are gonna be like, "Oh, so you're gonna be actually like good on you for trying to argue the other side." Doomslayer wins. There's no okay, let me just say this. When it comes to like the debate, there's probably going to be some, but it's not going to be who wins. Because yeah, I don't think anybody's you know, you've seen the arguments. We're not here to make any arguments otherwise, but okay, I probably should have done at least like some reading up on Doomslayer for this, but obviously I was on Chief, so me.
Feel free to ask.
Right.
Any questions? All right, look, before we continue, I just want to make a statement. Had they done this matchup before Doom Eternal came out, the gap actually would have been closer than you think. Because by the events of Doom 2016, he was close to being a high-tier dimensional character. But if I had to give him a number, not even a number, just say where he scales, Doomslayer, as of 2016's Doom, was pretty much galaxy level, pushing Universal. So, Chief actually would have been able to do a lot more than people give him credit for. And I also want to say that the events of the Doom Eternal DLC were Doomslayer. Okay, so I didn't mean to underplay it, but Doomslayer killed both God, the God that we think of and we believe in, who did not have a physical form. He was contained in an orb, and he crushed that orb containing God's life force like it was a piece of glass. And he killed the actual creator of the Doom universe, Satan. And I will say, that alone is very much overkill. Because if it was just the Doom Eternal without the DLC, then Master Chief would have had far better chances, and I'm willing to say that he would actually stack up in a few different areas.
Okay, well, all right. Well, I kind of want to come back to speed later, because I've heard some debate about that.
Sure.
Well, okay. Let me say this, and this is more for the people watching rather than us here. But Okay. Me as a Halo fan, I'm gonna okay, so for this podcast I'm gonna be trying to like give Chief as much as I can, because like, all right, I've already conceded defeat, quote unquote. I know we're not trying to like prove our character wins, but
No.
but I've already kind of conceded that yeah, no. But it's just I've seen so much like the arguments I've seen for this have been awful, and I don't mean like, oh, people have been like shitting on each other. No, because like everybody's saying the Doomslayer wins. The problem is why. A lot of the times the arguments just kind of boil down to Doomslayer wins because I said so. Because like, I mean, look at him, like, and yeah. I don't disagree with that, but that's not an argument. Like,
No.
And it's just like, and anytime I try to bring up something for Chief that's like maybe not game changing, like it's not gonna save him, but it's like it's important to note. The automatic response I get is, yeah, but who cares? He's still not winning.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, first of all, at what point did I say that that's what I was trying? At what point did it imply that that's what I was trying to say? But also,
Right.
What? What? Like, okay, cool. Like, can you tell me why? It's like anything that I try to say is like anything that like could be in Chief's defense is just, you know, just thrown to the wayside. Doomslayer wins.
Right.
And I am sick of it. So I'm going to bring him up here, and you fracks can't stop me. I mean, I kind of already did a spiel during the opening statement, but okay.
Yeah. Shoot.
Okay, big one, Cortana.
Cortana. All right. Ask away.
Well, it's less of an ask. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Cortana is legitimately one of the most busted AIs I've ever seen.
I will concede to that. And
that
hell, there was. I'm sorry. There's one thing I didn't mention, but I'll let you finish.
Yeah, that whole okay. I'm assuming what you're referring to is Vega.
Vega. Yes, I am. He does have Vega. Okay. In Doom Eternal, he loses Vega, but they're probably going to give him Vega. Vega is an artificial intelligence as well that came from 2016's Doom, and he interfaced himself with the Fortress of Doom in space, and he was Doom's main companion to... he was like the opposite of Cortana. It was an AI that essentially guided Doomslayer and was able to do whatever he needed him to do. Boom. But it's not basic AI. It's more like, think Lila from Miguel, aka Spider-Man 2099. Just think that, but you know, a little bit more advanced, slightly advanced.
Okay.
So yeah. But yeah, continue, because I think I know what you're gonna say about Cortana.
Okay, well, for Vega, it could, okay, it sounds to me, okay, Vega's neat, but
Yeah.
it's like that's it. He's neat.
Yes. Like, okay.
Like I obviously don't mean to like shit on Vega. I'm sure he's a
No.
like-
Vega is good in his own right, but see, here's the. So Vega is an AI interface. I just want to say that right now. So let me just say this. if this was just a fight between their AIs first, Cortana wins. Cortana can easily shut him down, hack him. She can just, her 3D avatar can just walk over, pull Vega out, put him in a basketball shape, and toss him in a basketball if she fucking wanted to. He's not that good compared to Cortana. So there you go. That's an advantage that is in Chief's corner. Is Vega cannot fight Cortana, and I just gave evidence as by bringing up Doom Eternal, because by Doom Eternal his interface is gone. He has no other interface. He's replaced immediately after, and then that AI is dropped, and then Doomslayer just gets orders from one of his human comrades. So AI is not on AI advantage, not on Doomslayer's side. But I should note, Vega does not control the suit. Doomslayer got Vega much later on, after he was woken up in Doom 2016. So there's a lot of people who are under the misconception that Vega operates the suit, and all Cortana has to do is just hack the suit, shut Vega down, therefore that shuts Doomslayer down. No. Vega operates... Vega's interface is like 2% of the suit. The rest is all Doomslayer.
Okay, I mean, that's neat.
Yeah.
So, okay, I had a feeling that, like, if she shut down Vega, then that's obviously, like, that's just one thing.
That's
like, okay, how, okay. Okay, so it's kind of sounding like Cortana can't just shut down the suit. Like, okay,
correct.
I'm not talking I'm not talking like she shuts down Vega, therefore she shuts down the suit. I'm talking like she shuts down Vega, and then she shuts down the suit.
No. I wasn't insinuating you were. I was just
right.
I've seen that argument thrown around a lot.
And obviously, I know the counter argument to those who don't want to hear Chief's arguments is going to be, yeah, okay, but like even if she did shut down the suit, then Doomslayer could just like rip himself out of it. All right, cool, okay, great. I'm glad that's a thing. That's not what I'm saying, but okay, so. Okay. Does any of Doomslayer's like weaponry run on like computer systems that Cortana can exploit?
No. So,
okay.
One thing I forgot to mention. So Doomslayer, when in the events of the 2016 game, shortly after that, he killed a priest. I can't remember if it was a priest or if it was a demon. He killed somebody that had the ability to absorb energy from the demons, or just energy in general, and use that energy to empower their weapons. And every time Doomguy fights a enemy, whether it be hell or not, he's absorbing. If they don't have that much high energy, which this actually is not relevant to Chief at all, but what it is relevant to is Doomslayer can essentially use energy to empower his weapons to kill whatever he needs to kill. And it's coming from his life energy. It's not technical based.
Okay.
And his machine gun and all of his guns, like his standard guns are human weaponry, but then there are other weapons that are coming straight from hell, and they don't use technology.
Okay. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Let's address a big one.
Okay.
The Forerunner tech.
Yes. All right.
Um,
Let's go.
okay, so just gonna say this: incinerate. I know people will bring up incineration cannon. It's a very neat, very powerful, very destructive weapon. Probably one of my favorites in 4. And that's it. It's
Yeah.
it's nothing. It's a Forerunner rocket launcher basically. I mean, it fires like it fires like ionized particles. I'm pretty sure that's neat and all, but that's like whatever. The binary rifle is the one that people should really be talking about. Because that one specifically. So that's basically the Promethean sniper rifle. That's basically what it is. And it fires antimatter, like I said. So let's address that.
Okay.
I mean, it's short and simple. What are Doomslayer's counters to it? Like, if you were to get shot by that, what would happen?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay, why?
Not so. So, all the way in the events of the first 2 Doom games, the Hell Demons were blasting Doom Guy with energy that can essentially disintegrate you down to nothingness. So, to make it shorter, he was already getting blasted by Hell antimatter, and he was fine. And this is not excluding what he would go through in the events of Doom after that, Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. So he already has come across antimatter before when he was much, much younger in his fighting days, and he was able to resist it. And after the events of Doom 26, before the events of Doom 2016 and all the way to Doom 20 Eternal, he's immune to being erased by antimatter.
Okay.
And I would also like to counter that. The BFG essentially does the same thing, except it's different. But he has fought people who have had antimatter weapons before, or beings like the Hell Beast who can just shoot you with antimatter, but it's hell antimatter. So you're basically just gone.
Okay.
Now, granted, let me double back on this. If you just excluded the events after the original Doom games, I would like to say on record, the Forerunner's technology would actually probably work on Doom Guy. And I know what I just said, but I said he could resist it for a time. That doesn't mean it still won't work on him if you were just using Doom Guy himself. Doom Slayer is immune to it. You can't erase him from reality. You can't erase his matter. You can't even you can't even erase him from reality.
Okay. What else was I gonna bring up? I kind of want to talk about skill.
Sure.
Because okay, you know, obviously you can correct me if I'm wrong. Again, you did the Doom research, I didn't. So, Doom Slayer to me, so I'm obviously like I don't have my perception is skewed, but Doom Slayer to me seems like a kind of guy who's like he can be pretty skilled, but he typically relies on like brute force. Okay, well, step in if at any time for the record.
Okay, so addressing his skill. Now, yes, he is a stand. Now, yes, from the outside, it would appear that he has a very narrow mentality battling, but he's been very strategical, like a surgical knife. And he's even made tactical decisions that he knows is probably going to benefit him. And that being, he knew the only way to kill the devil, the creator of his universe, was not to simply stand back and just wait. Because if he did, then it would get worse. The situation would escalate, and by that time, the worst probably would have happened. So what he did was, he decided to bring the devil back from the 5th dimension into our dimension, the 3rd dimension, and fight him. And it was his plan to use as much help as possible to get the devil distracted, so that way he would fight him one-on-one and use all of his skill and power to take him down and kill him. So I should also mention, because I did mention this, very much similar to John, Doomslayer has led tactical operations before. He continues to prove why he's an experienced veteran against the armies of hell. And thanks to his training and knowledge from the people who took him in, he can expand his battlefield horizons if he wants to. It's just, yes, 9 times out of 10, he has to go in there guns blazing because he knows he can do it. It's, now granted, that mentality has been taken advantage of, and it proved to be his undoing because he's been captured and locked up not once but twice. So, if you could figure out a way to beat him, the best way is by removing him from the battlefield altogether. So Chief would have to know that there would be something that could hold the Doomslayer in place for all of eternity if he was locked.
Right. Okay. I'm just okay. So I guess just kind of run through again how like this like Master Chief skill. Well, first of all, John has basically been training all his life. He was enlisted when he was 6 years old, which violates like 100,000 human laws, but whatever. Yeah. Dr. Halsey is definitely going to hell when she dies. Anyway, so Spartans are basically like the best of the best. Marines, ODSTs, they are child's play to Spartans, not just in strength or speed, but in strategy and skill. And Master Chief in particular has gone up against like there's a lot of enemies in particularly in Halo Infinite that have bios that legitimately claim that like they are trained they're part of like special ops organizations that are specifically trained to hunt down and kill Spartans. And they've a few of them have succeeded on that front. They take down Spartan 4s. John's a Spartan 2. And then John's like, all right. And then like, and there's one in particular, I don't remember his name because alien names are weird. There was one that claimed to be like he has won fights even outnumbered against like Marines, ODSTs. I think he's taken down Spartans as well, but I could be wrong about that. And then you fight him at Halo Infinite. It's not a story character. There's like Halo Infinite has like Okay, compared to the other Halo games, Infinite's a bit weird because it kind of takes an approach that I can only really compare to a game like Spider-Man. It's a massive open world. You have side quests and other challenges to complete, and one of those are targets of the enemy organization that's called the Banished. One of the targets is what I'm talking about. Is what I've been talking about. Is one who can fight and who can win fights even when outnumbered. So when you go to fight him, he's not only you not only have him, but you have a bunch of other like grunts, jackals, elites, brutes. Those are Covenant species, by the way. So basically, now you're outnumbered. It's a bunch of them versus you. And your job when you're taking on those challenges, your job isn't just kill the target and then leave. You have to take down the crew around him. So basically, what I'm saying is, John has fought someone who can win fights even by himself, and now he has help, and they still lost. And from what and if I remember correctly, again, I could be remembering wrong, but this thing, I shouldn't say man because it is an alien. That sounded wrong, but you know what I meant.
Yeah, just keep going.
I'm pretty sure this guy can has killed Spartans, like John. So
yeah. So okay. If I'm understanding what you're saying, I think I have an idea of what you're trying to really say and ask. But just keep going.
Well, okay. Long story short, John can win fights even on his lonesome, and against foes that are specifically trained to kill him.
Right.
So if that's not a testament to Master Chief's skill as a fighter, I don't know what does.
Yes. You're okay, look. If we were just using Doom Guy from I'm sorry, I should just start. Okay. If we were just using Doom Guy, then yeah, Chief would obviously have better skill, because Chief has been at this since he was 6 years old. Doom Guy was probably recruited in his late teens, which is, standard. But the thing of it is that both of them okay, if you remove the events of Doom Eternal and the DLC, they both are equals in terms of skill, but I think you could make the argument that it does go to Doomslayer, and here's the reason. Doomslayer not only has military training, but he has knight training from the aliens that took him in. He has gladiatorial experience. He has hell experience. He's basically experienced in multiple different methods of skill, and that's the craziest thing. He's technically got more battle experience than John. Now, John's probably got, 20, 40 years worth of battle experience, would you say?
Yeah, 40-ish probably. He's definitely in his late 40s by now.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Because I guess just to kind of give an idea of the time frame.
Yeah.
I believe Halo Infinite, it takes place in the year 2560. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
John was recruited in 2517.
Okay, so about over 40 years.
Yeah. And 30 of them are against about 30 of them are against the Covenant.
Okay. So
John was there before humanity's first encounter with alien life, and then he was also there after.
Yeah, makes sense. So, Doomslayer was there when Hell first invaded, and he's still here now. And it should be noted that he's over thousands of years old by now, when you take his physical age into account, because he was trapped and fought through Hell for a long, long period of time. Then he was ejected to another part of the cosmos, and there he had even more training. So basically, experience and skill unfortunately, they do go to Doomslayer, because what he's done is he was doing what Master Chief was doing after the events of his original trilogy, and he's still doing them now. The only difference is Doom Guy is currently trapped again, whereas John has to see what comes next.
Okay.
You also had something about the speed category you wanted
Yes.
to bring up?
Okay. Elaborate for me on Doomslayer's speed again.
All right, so
Because
if
I've heard some contention against it, but I just want to make sure I get all my info right.
Okay, so before, I would say Doom Guy he could outrun his own travel 50 at his somewhere between, I don't know, 5 at best, so close to breaking the speed of sound. Now, on the other hand, Doomslayer, after he was trained by one of the priests, his speed was so fast, he was able to travel through the 9 realms of Hell, which are meant to be infinite, because that's how his version of Satan created them. He created Hell to have 9 layers of infinite realms. So Doom Guy, let me just paint you a picture. Imagine Doom Guy just starting off at one side on the planet itself, and he does a lap in less than a second around the whole planet. His speed is essentially incalculable, and it's unquantifiable, because Hell has no definitive numbers. It doesn't exist.
How does he travel?
So his main method of travel is running.
Okay.
He runs. Yeah, he runs. And of course, I also mentioned too, he also has jet boosters in his modern suit, which give him the ability to jump high distances and get to areas that are unreachable without them.
Okay.
He can super jump. Should note that. So
Well,
that's his speed.
neat, but Master Chief can do that too.
Yes.
Okay.
Master Chief's been doing that.
Oh yeah. Did I forget to mention that Mjolnir armor weighs like half a ton?
Yeah, almost a ton.
I kind of forgot to mention that. Now, okay, I should probably clarify, because I thought for the longest time, I was like, oh, geez, John is really strong to have to move an armor like that. But the armor kind of does do a lot of the movement for him. Not okay. Like I said, the armor moves at basically at the speed of John's thoughts, not necessarily the speed of his body.
All right. So here, let me break it down just one more time. Okay, so when he was given the speed that was bestowed to him, and so here's the interesting thing. The circle of Hell is separated by infinite distance, meaning Slayer would have had to have traveled an infinite distance in finite time, meaning his reaction and speed feats are essentially higher. They are almost incalculable. They cannot be measured here on Earth. But if I had to just give a measurement, I would say he's probably quintillions, if not septillions times faster than Master Chief. And this is with, and again, this is with the physical, changes that were done to him. Like, these are not, the suit isn't doing this, it's him in the suit. So if you took the suit away, he could still do it, is what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah, I had a feeling it wasn't just because of the suit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just brought up. I was just bringing up how it works for Master Chief because I was like,
Yeah.
he's not actually like he's not lifting his own arm, which is now encircled by like half a ton armor.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to talk about that real quick, really just because I thought it was crazy when I read it. So this is when Chief is basically like he's given the prototype. Basically, he's being introduced to the concept of it's called Project Mjolnir. And like he's testing the suit. He's moving his arm and it's like to his chest, and he moves it so fast he wouldn't have, like, if it wasn't, you know, his own arm, he wouldn't have even noticed that it had moved.
Right.
And so this is actually like some people. In case you're wondering why they had to go through augmentation, like in the first place, outside of, you know, it gives them a massive boost. But it's also like, I mean, yeah, but it also can kill people. So it also can kill its candidates. So what's the point? They're augmented specifically so they can wear the armor, because anybody that doesn't, they've tried it on people who aren't augmented, and the suits kill them. Like they twist and like contort their bodies so brutally that like it kills the wearer. So the Spartans had to be augmented so they could actually like wear the damn things. So yeah. And then, okay, so there's one feat I wanted to elaborate on, and again, I'm really just doing this because I think it's bonkers. I mentioned the whole thing with the jetpack. I mentioned that he could fly a jetpack at like 9% light speed. I wanted to talk about that really just because, again, it's wild. I showed this to Mate as well, and he was like, what? So this is from The Fall of Reach, the book, not the miniseries. This event does appear, is in the miniseries, but it's not like, it's more descriptive in the book, because obviously. So for context, so John and his team are, so by this point, John is 14 years old. He had just gotten the prototype Mjolnir suit. He had not achieved the rank of Master Chief Petty Officer yet. So he was trying to, he was up against a giant Covenant warship. I think it's called the Commonwealth, but that doesn't matter. I just wanted to point that out. So he is in a Pelican, and those things don't have the firepower to bypass Covenant energy shields. So what his solution was to basically enter the ship like a scalpel. And by that I mean he puts on a jetpack. He and his team put on jetpacks, and they fly right at the ship to try to find an opening in their shields. So the book notes, so it says traveling at 100 million kilometers an hour a minor course correction meant that he could miss the ship by tens of thousands of kilometers. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if this whole thing is referring to the warship or the thruster packs. Chances are it's probably referring to the warships, but so I actually spent like 10 minutes trying to like dig through like the text around it for like context clues and shit. And then I read just a little bit further and it says, oh yeah, John's velocity now matches that of the ship. And I'm like, okay, that's 10 minutes I'm never getting back. So John makes it to the ship and he learns that the shields drop where the guns are at so that they can fire out of it, because obviously if they don't, then they're just going to hit their own shields. That's a problem. So they drop once the guns are being fired, and then they immediately close again. So what John has to do is he has to time he basically has to I'm trying to words are hard. So basically he has to fly through the shield just as it opens up, just after the gun's fired. And the book explicitly notes that he had to time it just right, because if he was too late, then he would just bounce off the shield. If he was too early, then the plasma guns would have vaporized him. So he was like, all right, gotta time this just right. And then he flies right in, the gun fires, the shield drops, not exactly in that order, and he makes it through the shield. So basically, he's flying a relativistic jetpack, and he has to time his situation just right, so he can make it through the shield. So I know people kind of have this thing of like, oh, I mean, it's the whole travel speed versus reaction speed thing is that's yeah. This from what I've seen, it qualifies as both, because he had to fly a jetpack that at the very least matches a warship that moves at, like I said, about 9% light speed, while being, I forget the distance between the two, but it's not terribly big, I don't think. I don't know. I just thought it was crazy, so I just wanted to elaborate on it. I told that to Mate, and I just freaking blew his mind.
Nice.
So, yeah, fun. Okay, well, I don't really think there's anything more I can cover here. Okay, actually,
Me neither.
Z-Dog, questions.
Yeah, what do you got, Z-Dog?
Freaking, I don't know. I guess just really. I guess really just the question is like, I'm just trying to think of anything I could ask. I guess just, is there any gun Chief has that could like pierce it to and kill Slayer? I guess that's just the big one.
No.
I'm trying to like.
Sorry if I answered prematurely on behalf of you, bro. I'm sorry.
No, I mean the Forerunner stuff was really what I was banking on.
Forerunner technology would have been the best bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
I'm trying to think.
I will say, I doubt this. Again, this does not matter. I understand that. I'm just looking for anything. I doubt Doomslayer ever really utilizes stealth that much, but I'm gonna go ahead and. But I'm just gonna say right now, if he did, it's worthless.
Yeah.
Because Chief has a surprising amount of ways to detect enemies, not just from a motion sensor that's already like built into his helmet, but also stuff like the threat sensor and the Promethean vision. Those can even detect people that are invisible. So like, and okay, actually, I guess let's talk. I guess I kind of want to talk about that. Does Doomslayer have any ways of detecting invisible enemies?
He can see invisible enemies. So if you turn invisible, he can see you.
Wait, how though?
Yeah, how?
Naturally on his vision.
I believe
suit?
this goes all the way back to Doom 1 and 2 when he was Doom Guy. He could just, thanks to either his eyesight or just how good he was, he can actually see you if you're invisible. Like, he can see your outline and know you're there. They touched on this in the first episode, so I'm pretty sure if Chief uses active camouflage,
Okay.
then Doomslayer, now even more powerful than he was back then, he can see invisible enemies, and he'll know they're there. So stealth is kind of useless for both of them.
Okay.
Try. I mean, I'll be honest, I really don't have much else. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, my really only other thing was about anything Cortana could do to like hack into its suit, but you guys already said like that would pretty much be worthless.
Okay, so there's a bit of irony in this matchup. Since Doom Slayer operates like a machine, if he was just a robot, Cortana could shut him down, and Chief could kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if Doomslayer was not a man, then Cortana would actually have a bigger role to play in this.
Right.
You know what? Just for shits and giggles, I kind of want to talk about what if this was Master Chief versus Doom Guy?
Sure.
Just for shits and giggles, let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure we're all going Doomslayer, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, then add the score right there. There you go. It's confirmed.
Yep.
This is another bro sweep.
Yep.
All right, so shits and giggles time. What do we got? Master Chief versus Doom Guy, hypothetically. What do you got, bro?
I'm asking you. You're the one who researched him.
Oh, okay. So, all right, hypothetical then. So, if we were just doing a modern update of Doom Guy versus Master Chief, there would be a gap here, but not by that much. So, if you were just to use Doom Guy before he was sent out of hell and into the events of what would essentially be, we'll call this the Dark Age era. If we were using that Doom Guy when he was still called Doom Guy, it would be slightly closer, but here's the problem. Chief would still win, and this comes down to Chief has more experience. Chief has had far more experience fighting armies than Doom Guy. Now, yes, Doom Guy has fought the armies of hell multiple different times, but unfortunately, he had never come across these type of people or demons or just anybody that could essentially end reality or the fucking planet if they just wanted to. He's operating under possibly large city to we'll say maybe highballing it potential moon level. Let's be generous here. His weapons have more variety than Chief. I would actually say some of them could kill Chief if Chief wasn't careful enough, because the BFG is dangerous. That is his ace in the hole. If Chief gets hit by that thing, it's bye-bye. But thanks to his superior speed, then Chief would be able to get away from it, or he would have the bubble, which would save him. Plasma wouldn't work on Chief. I'm pretty sure Chief's armor can deflect plasma attacks.
Yeah.
And
well, maybe
bullets,
maybe not deflect it, but it basically like it just like dissipates when it hits. Yeah, kind of. Well, kind of. Yeah.
Okay. His standard firearms won't. His standard. The right shot off, but considering between the two of them, that Chief was a better marksman anyway. Than Doom Guy. Yeah, most likely not happening.
Chief's
Doom Guy's
Chief's aim is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, but now, thankfully, so is Doomslayer, so they're pretty much dead even in that area. But yeah, no, Chief has really good aim. And durability, it's no freaking contest. Like, okay, granted, Doom Guy can resist the antimatter, but he's not immune to it. So if Chief hit him with enough of the Forerunner's antimatter guns, eventually Doom Guy's kind of gonna have to give out. So this is it's okay. The gap has got it. The gap is gotten a bit wide, but ultimately Master Chief still wins. Case closed, because he has better experience. He has his firepower. Now, granted, his firepower is actually more versatile now than ever. Hypothetically, give him the runner technology.
Yeah.
He has his strength is well. Strength is what, maybe planet level at best. So that automatically is better. His speed, even more better. The only thing that Doom Guy has in his corner is that he has better his weapons. He has an ace in the whole weapon. He's and that's it. This is pretty much a stomp for the Master Chief. I cannot see a scenario where Doom Guy wins unless it's Doom Slayer.
Okay, that's good enough for me.
Yep.
All right, cool. So yeah, I guess that's what we're dealing with.
Yep.
Okay, well, my guys lose again. God damn it.
Yeah.
You know, I will say, even though I will say there's no chance in hell this happens. If Master Chief wins, it's gonna be so fucking funny. I'm gonna.
Oh, dude.
This
No,
will
dude.
be an upset.
I'm gonna say this. I'm just gonna say this. This is probably obvious, but if Master Chief wins, I will freaking cheer.
Yeah, this will be another Silver Trunks moment.
Yeah. I don't care. I know it's probably not. I know it's not happening. I know that, but
Probably not gonna happen.
if it did, oh my god.
Yeah.
Probably the biggest community upset ever, honestly.
The irony is, this actually would have been a stomp for Chief if they had done this matchup before Doom 2016 came out.
Yeah. But. Wow.
Yep. But it is what it is. Yeah. That's Master Chief versus Doomslayer, everyone. Bro and I are tired. We hope that we get a break. If not, well, then we'll deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for this matchup. I hope the episode is good. I hope that it can prove all the naysayers wrong. I honestly just want this fight to be damn good popcorn entertainment.
Oh, yeah, it's probably gonna be that.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, the previews have been solid.
Yeah.
Like I said this in a couple Discord servers. I kind of want to mirror it here. I don't. This is probably gonna be a fight that's. This is probably gonna be an episode that's more just like, of like an adrenaline boost, if nothing else. But if they wanted to, they could absolutely. At least for Chief, I can't speak on Doomslayer's behalf, but for Chief's sake anyway, if they absolutely wanted to, they could make an analysis for him on the level of something like Kratos versus Asura.
They could.
With how like, and I don't mean from a versus. Oh my god. Okay, I said this in one Discord server, and someone responded like, "Yeah, well, they didn't mention like a single direct feat Kratos had done," and I'm like, "Hey, it's crazy. That's not what I meant."
Yeah.
And then someone else was like, I think he just means that it's probably like a bit closer than people expect. And I'm like, hey, that's not what I meant either. It's like, what's great about that is that the entire time I was talking about how like crazy deep and complex Halo lore is. So like,
You're asking for a Kratos deep dive for Master Chief.
Well, I'm not begging for it. I absolutely think they could, if they wanted to. But like I said, this is probably just gonna be, adrenaline boost, the death battle episode.
I mean, if the previews are anything to go by, then I'm sorry, if it might cut out again, damn it. If the previews are anything to go by, then you're not entirely wrong, because the thing is, they talk about the backstory for both characters, and then they just move on to the gun. So it feels like they're not going to do that, which is a bit sad, because I feel like Halo lore should get a big development. Hell, I want Doom to get a big development lore-wise, because I shit you not, you could literally write a novel with the events that happens in the Doom franchise. So
yeah, and I mean, Master Chief's preview hasn't even come. I mean, it just gets to Mjolnir armor, and then we don't get to mention of Cortana, and
Nope.
They didn't even get to the Fall of Reach yet. And oh my god, if they talk about that, get ready, because that shit sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a wonderful story. It's like, it's such a okay. The Fall of Reach book is amazing. I recommend it. But when I say this sucks, I mean like basically everything you know and love dies.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like Chief, by the end of it, Chief is essentially flying away. It got to a point where Reach is like it's doomed. Like the Covenant had taken over, and how the Covenant deal with planets when they're done with it is they blast that shit with so much plasma that the planets themselves turn to glass.
Yeah.
And Master Chief had seen that happen to so many planets, and now he's flying away from a planet that not only have Spartans trained on Reach basically their whole lives. So Reach is essentially their home, and Master Chief now has to watch in space as it's destroyed. But also, pretty much all of his Spartan family is on the planet, and he can't do anything to save them.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah, it kind of sucks. Now, granted, a small handful of them do survive. The Covenant didn't completely glass Reach.
Well, that's good at least.
But yeah, so John trained with like 74 other kids, and by the time we get to the Fall of Reach, like I'm pretty sure like it's him and like
They all die.
4 other Spartans live.
Yeah.
Yeah, Halo is a lot more messed up than I think anybody would expect. And kind of want them to dive into that for this episode.
Agreed.
No, we'll see.
All right.
But all right,
We
we should wrap this up.
We really should. Yeah.
So, all right. Well, thank you for watching. If you stayed during all of this, you are you're a trooper, and I respect the hell out of you.
Let's see it.
So anyway, well, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed Shigaraki versus Mahito. I hope you're looking forward to Master Chief versus Doomslayer. If you're a fan of both, please be respectful to one another.
Yep.
Please stop making this a dick measuring contest. It's not cool. Let's all be fans here. They're both under the same umbrella, goddammit. They're both owned by Microsoft, so let's just band together for that. Well, with that, I think we're done. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and we will talk to you all in the next video. Bye, everybody.
Peace.
Bye bye. Yeah.